It'd be like that sometime.
It do be.
Yeah.
Alright, says we are live. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy vexyz, the lurking legend, head cook of the last arc. So glad to be here with all of you in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Like the stream. We got a fire stream for y'all today. But before we get too into it, we're gonna go ahead and introduce all of the crew here and our guest of honor. We're joined here by Ohime Tenchi, Hime-sama. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing super good. I'm very glad to be here and honored. Thank you so much.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we're super hyped to have you. We love the Chibi girls here, and can't wait to have you and Chesta both on one of these days. But we're also joined by the historian of the last arc himself. We've got Kube of the Red Sea. How you doing, brother?
What up, everyone? Very excited for this stream and very excited for the talk. So yeah, let's go, guys.
Let's go indeed. Then we have the musician of the last arc, Josh Vythor. Joshua, make some noise. How you doing, brother?
Yo, I'm good. I'm here to chill and theorize.
Big chillin'. We've got the shipwright of the last arc with us as well. We've got Fritz the Ditz. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm making memes as we speak, just having fun. Like to stick out as long as I can. I might have to pop off, but it's great being here. Thank you.
Yeah, man. If you can't stand the heat, you know what they say. No,
Yeah,
no,
they
it's
say
fine.
burn
We're
down
glad to
the
have you
kitchen.
here, and we're also extremely glad to have a 3-day trip with us, joining us. That's the Navigator of the last arc, the future queen of the pirates herself, the current queen of the pirates. Let's be real. Let's be honest, chat. And how you doing today, 3-day?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Let's go. Cube, if you had any specific topics you wanted to dive right into, we can get into those in just 1 second. I did also want to do one more shout out. We have some of our the last arc crew members live right now over on Desna's The Dwarfs channel for the One Piece live action banquet. So we've got Straw Hat Lucas, the helmsman of the last arc. We have the SSJ8 Cody, the special grade sorcerer of the last arc, and the captain of the last arc himself, Den Kushi, holding it down over on Desnis's channel literally right now. So if you guys would do us a huge favor, make sure you like that stream as well and pop on back and vibe with us. But yeah, just had to shout it out to the guys. We got double booked today, but we all had to show up and make sure that we had some fire discussion to bring to the table for when we had Hime on. This is the second time you've been on with us, right?
Yes, it is my second time.
Hi. And
Yes.
I know I've been watching a lot of streams with you recently in the Chibi Girls, and then your OPU stream that you guys had last week, and I've been hearing a lot of the dragon takes. So I mean, obviously we will be getting into some of that. But Cube, is there anything you wanted to dive into first?
Honestly, we're not gonna start with the spicy immediately because yeah, the dragon take, that's for sure is gonna be mentioned because I think it's gonna be a great discussion because I heard Hime's point of view and it's interesting for someone even like me who likes to defend dragon. So actually, Hime, especially with the content you do, is like with the end of Wano, especially with the anime, with the post stuff. Do you feel like, and you could explain in what ways, do you think the anime is doing stuff better than in the manga? Because we all talk about, the rush part of the end of Wano.
I truly believe that the anime is doing a lot of justice to Wano. If anything, I think that like it's really rare for me to say that the anime is better than the manga, but when it comes to Wano, 100% it's way better. They fleshed out so much more things. They added more scenes. Even the fights are better. Yeah, definitely the anime was better for Wano.
I actually agree. For me, I was catching up right at the end of Wano, and I felt like it was really gas all the way through, and then the ending felt it felt pretty rushed, and that was like a general consensus throughout like the fan base. It seemed whenever I started getting into the actual community, because I was like not ducking spoilers anymore, and like a lot of people thought it was rushed. I thought they were able to give it a little bit more attention to detail and a little bit more love in some of the scenes in the anime. It's been really killing it, and visually there's just things that you really can't get from panels, you know. So it's just it's a different format entirely, you know. Shout out to Ragnar in the chat, Lord Vegeta.
Ooh, what's up, Ragnar?
That's one of our goats right there. We love Ragnar.
Yeah, so actually, when you guys were saying that, what it makes me think of? A bit how we know about how Oda's was rushed, or at least, or he didn't think of some stuff for Lockdown. So when he did in the anime, the fillers of Lockdown are so hyped because those are stuff that he would have loved to have it in the manga, but didn't have time. So it kind of makes me think of that, using the anime as a.
Yeah, I know Oda isn't like firmly like 100% involved in the anime. They're their own thing, but he definitely has like influence, and say, and like I feel like they like ask him, like, because there's some stuff in the anime that, like, specifically with Lockdown, like you said, that is anime canon, which was never in the actual panels. So
I'll say this because I am a true believer. If now that we have Shiki being first introduced non-canon and not being canon, he's in the manga panel now, guys. So there's no excuse of maybe it's a different Shiki. No, same Shiki. But big believer, Ragnar, I got you, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, Chapter Zero is
cowboy.
canon. Yeah, Chapter 0 is canon, but it's good to see like in like an official like published, like actual sequential chapter that we get the guy. And I love Shiki. Yeah, absolutely. I need more from him. I just also wanted to say, guys, the Chibi Girls Discord link and links to Hime's YouTube and TikTok are both in the description, so make sure you guys check all of those out if you haven't already.
Thank you.
Oh, we got you, girl.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the cowboy that Usopp meets, that no Yasop, I'm sure we're gonna find out he's canon. That filler episode seemed like it was really good. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Wait, which one?
It's when Usopp meets. Yeah, Danny Masterson. No. Wait, what was it again? Masterson what?
Daddy Masterson?
Daddy Masterson.
Yeah, the goat. The goat.
Yeah.
Father.
Different guy completely. And the way he talked, and then we found out that he had some weird connection to Yasa back in the day, where they challenged each other. And then what Usopp did was impressive.
No, yeah, it's honestly really nice when like Oda just like re-reference stuff and like make connections. It's always really good because like the word is so big, like the One Piece word is like so vast, like you tend to forget about stuff. So he just tried to make connections and links everywhere. It's really nice.
Yeah, like actually, and I think I asked that for
about like the more sorry, it's like I just want to say real quick, that's my favorite thing about the most recent flashback sequence is there's just so many connections being made from stuff that I never really thought we would get like the full explanation on, and it's like Oda didn't just go out and tell us, he showed us, and that's like perfect. I love it. So sorry, go ahead, Cube.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, but actually it's a question for everyone because if there's a moment like full circle, something, so we were introduced, like I'll give the biggest example, like this we don't use as an example, is we meet Laboon, then we meet Brook, and then we talked about that crewmate and he says the name Raboon. What One Piece moment like that is one of your favorites? Full circle moment.
Like an emotional moment, or
like a character that we met before, and then you like when Rayleigh mentions Buggy being in Roger's crew and Luffy is shocked. Those full circle moments, like, oh shit, he was there back then.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I do like, okay, it doesn't happen often, but I do like when they have like this they have this like memory of Alabasta when they have their hands in the air and think about Vivi and the X. Like I know it doesn't happen often, but when it happens and when they think about Vivi, it makes me happy. Even though she's not a Straw Hat. So there's that, but like I'm pretty sure there's like also super other good ones, but I just can't think of them.
Chat, we put up a poll, End of Wano better in the anime or in the manga, so tell us what you're thinking there, and we'll see.
What about you, Vex? Do you have a full circle moment that you really love in One Piece?
I mean, recency bias has a firm clutch on my mind right now, and I just really like seeing that, like, we were wondering why Kuma sent people to where he did and things like that, and getting like that he was like searching for the cure for the sapphire scale for all those times and whatnot. It's that is so crazy to me that like, and like I said, he didn't just go right out and say it. He just showed it to us with not a single word. Shout out to Straw Hat Lucas in the chat, but without saying like a single word about those locations, it was just something that was like so iconic that all he had to do was show us like a quick panel. And they were pretty small too. It was like a little like, I don't know if he thought he was sly, just kind of sliding that in right there, but it was so crazy to me. And I love that like that really connects back to Saba Odi's one of my absolute favorite moments in all of One Piece. Like it was such amazingly written and very suspenseful, and like the stakes were so high and stuff like that. And then seeing like more context on that is just beautiful. I love it.
No, actually, I agree. It's like it's the details, you know, the devil's in the detail in a way. So it's
Yeah,
like it's very interesting to come full circle. Like for me, also, well, I always like the whole thing with Crocus finding out that he was a doctor of Rogers. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I think me is, and after when you think about it with a Marineford and Impel Down, it makes so much sense. Ivankov being a survivor of God Valley, and I'm like, oh my god. When I saw that face, I said, it makes sense. He's been the one who says the legendary Garb the hero in Marineford. Like everything, like when you watch now Marineford, you see reversal on how he could have, or some stuff he could have said in God Valley. It's like it's uncanny. Like that moment is like, oh my god. Give it up to Ivankov.
Yeah. No, honestly, Ivankov, like all the Revolutionary Army, like Kuma, Ivankov, like they just grew on us so much, like in the latest chapters. I'm so happy that like we got all the lore. Like God Valley was just so good. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, yeah, it was. I wanted a lot more, but just knowing that we were only seeing it through Kuma's eyes, and like, and I can't wait for God Valley 2.0. You guys think we're actually gonna get that?
Wait, we're gonna get like more of it?
Yeah, I feel like from like Garp's perspective, or like once we get more on rocks, like I feel like he's playing it close to his chest. He only wanted to show us like what Kuma was involved with, you know. So I think that we're definitely gonna see more from it, right?
I hope because like these are amazing fights. Like off screening them would be criminal. Like it would literally, my only wish and hopes and dreams about One Piece is not even finding the One Piece. It's about like I want to see Rocks versus Roger. I want to see Garb versus Roger. Like I want to see these fights. I want to know. Like I am so interested in Rocks. Like I want to know everything about him. So it's like, yes, I'm feeling for this information. Okay, so I want it.
Completely agree. Absolutely. But yeah, I feel like it's absolutely criminal, I think, if we do end it without like, or never go back to it. It's kind of like Kaido's backstory for me. We need more from it, but it's like he didn't want to give us more because that would tell too much about Rocks, and it's not time for the full Rocks reveal yet. So I feel like once we start to get more on that, we'll see more from Kaido's backstory. We'll see more from the God Valley incident, and we'll see more from like Roger's earlier days and things like that. Hopefully, I don't know.
I think it will come from like when it's either from Garp or Dragon, because I think it's gonna come like either Garp think about his past and we're gonna see the fights there, and also we're gonna see Dragon's childhood, or we're gonna see it from Dragon's perspective where he was when he was like younger and he was in the Marines, and we know that he went inside of the Marines with Akainu, and it could make like a good like also flashback regarding Akainu's past. So I think it could be played in many ways.
Yeah, I'm super
I like
interested. Go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say I think there's gonna be more than one perspective, and Dragon I think is one of them. But there's also one of them where I've always wondered in how Vegapunk is so relevant in the story, and how he enters in all of that, or even the Maz, right? And then I'm wondering if we will get a perspective of God Valley through Bakken, because Bakken is both a former Rocks and a former Maz, and she was at the event. And they've even been hinting at the original Bakken is an island closest to Elbaf. She's at Sphinx, where she's closer to Elbaf, if I'm not mistaken. So they still haven't passed where she was. So, like, she could also have a perspective.
What about
like?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, No, I was just gonna say it kind of parallels. If you think of Dressrosa, Luffy found out about who Kuros really was, not from Rebecca or the other people. He heard it from Viola, the sister who went on the other side. So it's like it's very interesting. There's this duality already, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to pose the question for the rest of the panel here. Fritz, were there any like full circle moments, like Kube was saying, that just like absolutely stuck out to you in One Piece, where you're just like, oh, it finally makes sense? Yeah.
Not really where things make sense, but like seeing everything as it evolves. Like I'm gonna even shout it out now. I've always threw shade at Thriller Bark, but after seeing days like Dressrosa, and then going back and realizing the stress and the kind of stuff they were going through, like in Thriller Bark, it's giving me some more respect. There's like beyond all like the funny stuff that's going on, there is like literally bad man level stuff going on, like that it can't be ignored. I've talked a lot of smack about it, but I can give it its due.
Yeah, I remember you were very passionate. Just remember, keep that same energy as you peel through like the rest of Whole Cake and Wano and like that. Thriller Bark aged like the finest of wines. I thought it was amazing already when I first watched it, but it's only gotten so much better with more content time behind it. I remember that was actually one of the first Chibi Girl streams I ever watched. Was Kime and Chestnut watching through and doing the whole Thriller Bark arc review, and I think you were also converted, right? You weren't really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was a big Thriller Bark hater. So like, just to put you guys in context, I started watching One Piece weekly by the end of by Thriller Bark. So I was like weekly in Thriller Bark, and it was very hard weekly. And also I was super young, but also like, so I wasn't enjoying it as much. But like revisiting, I'm telling you, like right now when you grow older and you revisit arcs, you actually get to know exactly which arc you like and you dislike. Don't trust your old self. So I revisited the arc. And trust me, like it was hilarious. I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. The fact that I could there's some arcs that are better binged. So like Thriller Bark is one of them. If you have to wait weekly, it is not interesting enough to wait weekly. And also like you just like it's like the pacing and stuff, and like the villains are bad, but what is nice about Thriller Bark is like the comedy, is like the setting, it's like everything surrounding it. It's like the Halloween vibes, everything. I just honestly, it was hilarious. Like I'm so happy I revisited the arc, because I would have been a Thriller Bark hater for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and like that stream with you and Chestnut absolutely stuck with me, and I've been, Chibi Girls ride or die ever since. Like it's that was so funny, like seeing Chestnut like lose her mind over the scene where he shoves the zombie back in the ground. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, honestly, what's there's I need to make a compilation of like the funniest One Piece moments. Like I think I would have like a video of like 2 hours.
Yeah. What about for you, Josh? Any full circle moments in One Piece that really stuck with you?
I think is first that comes to mind is Sanji development in Wano. Completing the development started in Cortic Island.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. Like Sanji's full arc. I was just talking with somebody in the TLA Discord, like in VC the other night, about like the full arc of just what Sanji, like all of the things that he developed and got through, and it's probably one of the more nuanced. And like I know some people think that it's not quite, that deep, but it really is. Like it's one of my favorites of like the full Straw Hat arcs. You know what I mean?
I am a firm believer that the best written Straw Hat is literally Sanji. Like obviously I would guess after Luffy, but like the best like Straw Hat, it has to be like Sanji. Like he got the best writing, to be honest. Like I'm not saying he's the most like he's not the most necessarily likable, but like he received the most love from Oda.
Yeah, I would agree, but like you kind of can't count Luffy You know what I mean? Like it's like
Exactly. That's
yeah.
why. That's why I was like, oh, apart from Luffy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Who has
But-
the most character development? Like Bon Clay. Let's just go ahead and put that on the table.
Oh my
No,
god.
wait. Who has? Oh, wait. I have a better one. Who do you guys think has like who like had the best twist of character? Like who like came out to be like so different from what you thought he would be?
Honestly, like Sanji's up there, but Robin really like that was a huge twist. Like whenever I saw everything going down at
I
Water
think-
7, going into
Me-
Laney's lobby, that was wild for me.
I'm so surprised. Like nobody's saying Kuma, bro.
I'm saying
Okay.
Kizaru after him
Bet.
doing the Nika dance.
We-
Yeah,
Yes.
for
We
real.
love Kizaru. Yeah, that was
No, no.
that might
Dude,
be
they
one of my
bonded
favorite
as a
panels.
family.
That literally
There's
might be
one
one of my
only
favorite
winner,
panels
guys.
of all time.
They danced
There's
and
only-
were merry and had dinner, dude. They're family. He's a secret goat that nobody's expecting. All right.
I'm gonna say this: the one that is number one on the list because it's the one you never expected to be that way in the story is Barto,
Ooh,
the
yeah,
super fan.
Barto.
Because the super fan thing is something I would have never expected someone to be that fan of them to that point.
I love it. He's us. He's literally us, just fanboying
Yeah.
over Luffy. Like I love it.
Yeah, also, Bellamy after the time skip.
Shout out to Jose in the chat. What's good, fam? We're glad to have you. But yeah, 3-day. Was there any like full circle moments that just completely floored you and stuck with you in One Piece?
Well, I'm actually more interested in finding out why Luffy wasn't sent to live with Ace and the Mountain Bandits until after he ate his devil fruit and Shanks left.
Oh,
There has to be a reason why he was hidden away after that. If it was for the fruit reason, because of the fruit, or did somebody find out who his dad was? I don't
Or
know.
did Garp know the truth about that fruit?
They had to have known something. Why did they hide him away with Ace, who they knew would be killed if they found out who he was?
yeah. I think we'll probably get more on that. Like and like Luffy as like a very young child. When we do get like the whole dragon flashback finally, you know. Like I'm hoping, like I'm so hopeful that the dragon flashback is gonna be like Kuma level, you know what I mean? Like especially after like seeing what we saw recently, because I hear the people calling him a fraud, and I respect that, but at the same time, like I just really want Oda to go all in on it, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
that's exactly when we'll get more Luffy as a small. We've seen him as like a 4-year-old, we've seen him as like a 10-year-old, and then like a 16-year-old and stuff like that. There's a lot of gaps there, you know, that we.
We
can
were
fill in.
talking about this the other day too. Like, there's a lot of people that's been scratched on the list of frauds who have been proven of themselves. One of them for the longest time was Kobe, and he recently proven that he is him. So
Yeah.
we need Dragon. We need Dragon right now.
The same people who are calling, let's say, Dragon, or even like, I'm not talking about the people who are overstating Mihawk, but those are people saying that Mihawk is not that great of a swordsman and Zoro can already take him, are the same one that called Garp a fraud. And then the moment the Garp was in a fraud, they went to find another character, you know, it's always the same thing.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's great because, like, in the One Piece fan base, we're all very tight knit for the most part, and people like, I've seen like Hime putting out on her TikTok. She's just like, I want Dragon to do something, and then then, I'll be
Yeah.
fine. And so like I love that because in a lot of other fan bases, it's a lot more toxic. But we can have like a great open discussion about it and it not get like heated or anything like that. So that's another reason why I just love One Piece. Like in general, is because like we all trust Oda. You know, it's just like we're passionate, and some of us are passionate in different ways. Like I really do think though that when we do finally get the dragon flashback, hopefully we get it all in one chunk, and we don't have it kind of like how I'm expecting Kaido's flashback to be. Like I think that was like half of it, and we're gonna get more later once Rocks is actually significant. But I'm hoping that once we get like the dragon stuff, we'll see a lot more of Luffy, because Luffy has had the most broken up like flashback, like actual backstory we get like a little breadcrumb here, and then 400 chapters later, another little breadcrumb here and stuff like that. I want like all of it to really like cohere and come together. All the puzzle pieces.
Like you
really
said,
fall into
yeah,
place.
it should come full circle, and we'll find out exactly if Garp or Shanks, who knew what that fruit really was. I think.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, that's
Jose
true.
was saying in the chat, Garp has to know about the Sun God Nika rubber trait. I think he probably does, since like Sengoku kind of knew, like obviously knows something about like the Will of D that we don't and stuff like that, and he knew about like rocks and was telling Brand New and Full Body right in between part 2 and 3 or whatever. I think that for sure he absolutely has to know the significance of the Straw Hat as well. So like. I don't know, that's crazy to me.
And in the official French version, the translation when Garp meets Luffy and why he's upset he didn't become a Marine, and I don't know if the English they say that, but in the French one he says that if you would have been a Marine with me, you would have saved the world. He talks about saving the world. It's like he saw like greatness already with Luffy, so they could be that there was an inkling of he knew that his abilities, the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Even then, you know, he's that free. So maybe that's like
What's up, John Sherrod? That's my guy on all social media.
JJ.
JJ, the OPU fam in the chat. He said TLA taking over YouTube. You already know.
However, there is something that I'm very curious. I think I spoke to Josh and Vex about that, and especially with the last chapter. Because something interesting is Luffy has different forms, right? And if you think about it, well, the Lunarians talk about Joy Boy, Shandoran talk about Sun God Nika, right?
Yeah.
And then and so there's different ways they see him, and Hyogoro only clocked in the Wisdom King that Gear 4 position form. I think it was Bounce Man or Tank Man, one of the two. Then you think of Nightmare Luffy, the different form he takes. Like it's not the regular Luffy form. So now we see with Bonnie, who is taking a similar Gear 3/Gear 4 form. So I'm wondering if there's a symbolism that every time people witness Joy Boy / Nika, maybe it's not the same person, or what they perceive to be Nika or the different name is basically the same person, but they gave him different name because of that. Because it's interesting she took that specific form, you know, more of a Gear 3/Gear 4 form. Of all the things Luffy can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. I can see that.
Yeah, it's like, because Hyogoro just bothered me. He saw Luffy do so many stuff, at this moment he went that form that he clocked in on the Nika thing.
I think it's crazy,
You know,
the amount of, because we mentioned, you mentioned the gods and stuff like that. Like Hyogoro said he looked like the god of fire or something like that, and then Big Mom has an attack literally called like Tenjin, the god of thunder, and then there are like the 4 gods that are referenced in I'm crazy like thinking about like how this could all like tie together, or just be like more government propaganda or something like that, that like these like older texts have been kind of like skewed throughout the 800 years and stuff like that. I'm trying to get the sound right for JJ.
Oh wait, people can't hear correctly?
No, it's just that the music was a tad too loud, so I'm just getting the vibe right. Appreciate you, JJ. I'm definitely gonna have to check the OPU VOD. I'm sorry I couldn't catch it last night. We were doing Chadmirals and the stream ended up going on for like 3.5 hours. But I did want to bring up, I mean, obviously, like a big topic is going to be Dragon. Before we get like too into that, we were talking about the anime earlier, and I was thinking like talking about, you know, the ending of Wano and things like that and how it stacked up. We gotta use that as like a bit of a conversational segue to talk about Egghead coming up, and like how you think that, like, have you seen the trailer for Egghead arc, like, that they put out?
Oh my god, yeah. It's looking so good. I love the fact that they changed a bit the animation. I love the I love just the new look, the colors, and the even the backgrounds. Like it just I'm so excited. I love everything that is futuristic. So this speaks to me on a lot on another level. So I really like it.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I loved the build up for like the whole like who's the traitor situation with the satellites, and I'm very curious to see, because a lot of people were myself included, were a little bit let down by the reveal. And I'm hoping that they kind of improve upon that in the anime, like give it a little bit more like nice narrative framing and some attention to detail, that and things that are just kind of missed a little bit in the panels. I think that we're really gonna like it. I think I'm hopefully gonna like it a lot more in the anime when we finally see that. What are all of y'all thinking about? Like, what are y'all maybe most excited about in the Egghead anime to come?
So many things. Oh my god. Go ahead.
There's one thing. Oh yeah, go ahead. Himal, go after you. No worries.
Oh no. I said go ahead. I was letting you. So go ahead.
Okay. So there's always something, and in fact, you've heard me say it, and I want to know if the satellites all have the same voice. Because something that always bothered me is the way Dragon reacted to Shaka, and then after we saw at the beginning we didn't know their personality, so we didn't clock anything. But if you look at it, Shaka was the most serious one. Did not make one joke. Everything about him stemmed like he's more serious than Law, and that says a lot. But he talked to him like he was a goofy Vegapunk, like stop with your jokes. Blah, blah. Like he didn't talk to him like he thought he was Shaka. So I'm very curious if all the satellites speak the same way. You know what I mean? They just have the way they say certain words is different, but it's like same pronunciation, everything. They have the same voice.
Nah, I mean, did they mention that? I think it's Atlas who speaks with like a specific type of like old man, like the way that, I don't know, it's hard to like, especially from scans and like translations and things like that, but even in the official they mentioned that she had like a kind of like an older or like southern, and I don't think they mean like southern like southern United States, like they meant like southern Japan specifically, like a different dialect.
Maybe,
So I think they'll all have like very distinct vocal patterns and voices maybe.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna have different voices. Otherwise, it's gonna be so complicated to to know who is talking.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always felt like it was just weird of Dragon. If he knows Vegapunk that well, why would you talk to him when it's
I mean,
not
they
clear
could
that
add to
one...
the suspense, like the confusion, the like who done it
well.
vibe. You know, if everyone like, I don't know, that actually be crazy. It kind of reminds me of like a Doctor Who episode. But what about for you, Josh? Is there anything that you're looking forward to most in the upcoming parts of the anime for Egghead?
Yeah, I want to see that giant double page spread animated in the anime, colored and everything.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Like absolutely. I still need. I'm hoping for some more in the manga about that. But yeah, that's gonna be nuts. And like yeah, the Vega Force is apparently green, which I didn't like. I don't know. It's crazy seeing like the official color, and like I can't remember who was bringing it up, but the fact that like York is blonde, and like I don't know, like all the colorizations, we all thought it was pink hair for the longest time. So I mean seeing the Iron Giant thing, like whenever that gets revealed, like maybe that's gonna add like a whole nother context to it as well. Hey, shout out to Chestnut Tanuki and Dax Sake.
Yeah,
oh,
I was
my
gonna
goodness.
say, I was like, yo, I was gonna be like waiting for you to talk. I'm like, yo, what's up?
My goats. We love you guys. Thank you guys for showing up.
Yes.
I wanted to ask 3-Day as well, though. What were you looking forward to most in the upcoming anime episodes as we step into Egghead arc?
Oh, wait, repeat that, sorry?
For 3-Day. Like,
okay.
what we're looking forward to most out of the upcoming Egghead anime episodes. Like, once we finally get into the arc.
I want to see Kizaru dancing with everybody and eating pizza. It's still so shocking. It just felt so unnatural, but
Mm.
But the thing I'm looking forward to most is seeing how the giant robot is connected to Joy Boy in some way. His heartbeat,
Ooh.
drums of liberation. I really want to see that.
Yeah, it's hype. I like that. Honestly, I said it earlier. That might be one of my favorite panels that I've ever read since I got current. Like, it's the like Nika dance is just, it's so iconic. I love it. And then for Fritz, was there anything like you've pretty much been on the whole Egghead like arc, right? Like you know a lot like a lot about what's happening.
I know more things than I should. That is correct.
But what are you looking forward to seeing animated the most? What would you say?
Honestly, I want to see the freaking awoken gorosei freaking coming through that portal. I want to see that so bad.
Wild.
I want to see it. I want to see, like, because then you imagine the music that they put behind that, and they really go all in on like the demonic tones that it should have. It'll be huge.
Yeah, I agree. That's gonna be sick. I love that. Yeah, that's a great pull.
Actually, scratch what I said with the dragon thing. There's only one thing I want to see animated. Garp Galaxy Impact, please, right now. We've got to see it. We've got to see that. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, I'm honestly like, yeah, the impact is crazy, but I can't wait to see the galaxy divide. I need to see Garp's like true speed feats like animated. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be really amazing.
Because there's something that, and that's even though I love Garp as a character, and I do believe he's really strong. Well, obviously he's not he's past his prime, but still pretty powerful. Like, we will always give the props to Whiteberry Marineford, but even though Garp, like, I always felt like in Marineford, his legend was much bigger than what we saw, and that's why I want to see finally animated something that will, like, everyone was shook the moment Marco was down, and they saw it was Garp moving forward. Every pirate, crocodile, everyone took a step back, just for one person. I want to see that level. Man.
yeah, I'm just always a fan of Helmeppo getting screen time. That's my guy. we love Helmeppo. I speak for everybody, right? No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. I feel like in the panel,
he gets slept on, bro. I mean, is it his fault?
I just feel like in the panel, all we saw was him getting like hit in the face with a cannonball, right? Like, I need to see the full scene. Like, they really have just been adding like some real finesse to some of these scenes in the anime, and I can't wait to see that whole thing go down.
I mean, does he have to be like OP? Can't he just be a good friend? Like, damn.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, everybody check out like I'm getting the links right now for Chestnut as well. I'll put them in the chat. But link to the Chibi Girls server that has been popping off lately is in the description. Make sure you guys go check that out. Join. Let them know you want to be a part of the Buggy Church, and they'll give you the role. It's a great time. I'm having a blast in there. I've been trying to get to I just got to level 2, but yeah, make sure you guys go check that out and join the TLA server as well. Link in the description, because we're just constantly cooking on some really fun discussions. Kube, is there another topic you wanted to get into?
Honestly, I
Did
think it's
Hime
time to
answer
get.
it though? I didn't remember what Hime said.
Oh yeah, we had to come back to you.
Sure.
Hime, what are you looking forward to getting animated the most? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I feel like I talked about the animation a lot, but I think the thing that I want to see the most, I guess like the whole Kuma flashback, to be honest, and God Valley and it just, and Kizaru. Honestly, like I can't pick one. I don't know how you guys are picking just one. There's so many things I want to see. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Daxake, a member for 6 months, saying I can't wait for Helmeppo to get Conqueror's Haki. That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. We need to find out the names of his 2 supreme grade blades. You know, like
You know.
Oh my goodness.
Also,
the
what I'm
Clark
also
Galaxy
looking.
Oops, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, what I'm very curious is, I also want to see how God Valley looks like the colors, the agriculture, because we've heard it. This island disappeared from the West Blue, where there were rocks, and we've seen Philibart that was originally part of an island in the West Blue, and you have zombies of rocks and a massive zombies, and like we know that most bodies there were already there on the island. More than not just bring thousands of body corpse with it. So it's like, for me, it's I want to see how the island looks like. Is there some similarities, because Oda likes his parable to certain islands. So I want to look how it really looks like. It would be interesting. But yeah. So I do have a twist. I think it's
Yes?
time for the dragon trial.
Oh my goodness. Here we
It
go.
won't be that bad.
No, but honestly, you know what? The best way is, I think, Hime, because I like the way you explained your issues you have with Dragon, the way he's being portrayed. Because I did like the way you addressed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But wait, did you ask a question?
Yeah, I said I would, if it's possible, like if you could explain how you addressed it with Chestnut. Like, you guys explain your criticism towards Dragon. It's not because you didn't dislike the character.
So the thing is, the criticism we had was the fact that he's not showing, he's not showing enough emotions regarding his commanders getting kidnapped. He's not showing intent of maybe trying to save them, not necessarily going there. It's the intent, it's the fact that he maybe he regrets, he has remorse. He didn't show anything, until last chapter where he started showing emotions regarding Luffy. So I was like, oh, he's able to show emotion, so why is he suppressing that? And then we thought to ourselves, me and Chestnut, I think it was coming from her, is that is he traumatized of getting attached to people, to show emotions to people? Is it because of what happened with Luffy's mom? Because as you can see in all of the others chapters, you see him with a poker face all the time. Even when Ivankov got captured, even when Ginny got captured, you don't get anything from him. So we were really, really wondering, and then when we saw him act up regarding Luffy, we were like, okay, he's able to do that, but why isn't he doing that with everybody? It's either he wanna be this leader that contain his emotions, or he is somebody who doesn't want to get too attached to people because he knows that people come and go. So there's this big thing that happened that we theorized about Dragon on our last stream, me and Chestnut. So I think this adds up a layer on Dragon's personality and character, and I think it makes him more likable because he's human, he's not just a robot who's oh, I don't care, my commander just got kidnapped,
Yeah, I'm super excited. These just two little speech bubbles we got in this last chapter gave me just so much more hope for what the future reveals and what we will actually be getting, hopefully sooner rather than later, from the whole dragon situation. But it's just so great to see that yeah, he actually does have it's not just I don't know, his introduction was cool, he's oh, that's what you chose and stuff like that, and then it's been a little bit mysterious for a while there, and then I heard you guys talking about it in the OPU stream last week, saying about how Overcooked it might have it was just we're seeing sides of him that it would have been better left a bit of a mystery and things and I think that this is the piece that we needed to really truly understand him more and make him a relatable character. You know what I mean? It's just seeing that he actually does care about his family and his son, and I need to know more context behind that, and I feel the mystery is back. I don't know, and so that's why I did want to ask you it's good to see but do you think are you more hopeful now than I've seen you in the past about about the dragon stuff?
100%, because listen, just the chapter before we see just 3 dots. Like you know, like I was like there's no way, you know. I was getting really upset. I was like, oh my god, like please say something, you know. But now that like he's showing like a bit like he has more depth to him, and again, you don't need to be a good person for me to like you as a character. You really don't need to be a good person, but if you have depth in you, you have like, you know, I'm able to like connect with you, I'm able to like understand your character and see like, oh, this character is a deep character, he has like so much more to him, he's not just one dimensional, you know. So for example, just the way I like Dofi's character, I don't agree with what he does. So like I just needed that from Dragon. I just needed this emotional attachment. So now I'm getting it. So I'm starting to like, you know, be like, okay, he's getting better as a character.
I'm super happy to see that. Like, cause yeah, that's like kind of like what I wanted to like get into for real about like on this stream. Is like, is Dragon still like on Fraud Watch?
Regarding his powers, I don't know yet because we didn't see him like use them. But regarding his character, no, like he's starting to like, you know, slowly get out of there.
I love that. I love to hear that. And then like yeah, like Josh, I'd like to hear your opinions on this. Like, what are you thinking? Like either power scaling or like just in the narrative. Like, how are you feeling about Dragon now?
I mean, the same as before, we just don't see... We have more of his character, but we don't have the whole picture yet. I think he's gonna come back to his relationship with Garp. What happened between them.
Do you think that when we do get like a Dragon flashback, do you think it's gonna be like Kuma level, like the flashback that we're still in right now, like or just got?
I don't think anything is gonna top the Kuma flashback.
You think it's gonna be better?
Yeah. I don't know.
That would be crazy. Like, but I don't know. Like Oda, like I've said in some of Dak's lives and stuff like that. Make sure you go sub to the GOAT right there in the chat. But I've said it before. Like I think that Oda has just completely raised the ceiling with like what we can expect, and like he's redefined what a 10 out of 10 is. And moving forward, I think that this is like what I'm hoping that this is like kind of the quality that we can come to expect from like future, because we only have a few more flashbacks that we really can expect, and that's gotta be like right there near the top of the list. But I'm hoping that all of them really do deliver. And like 3-Day, how are you? Like, are you more excited for maybe the Dragon flashback, or is there some other character that you're thinking might also get like a really detailed flashback like Kuma's getting?
Well, I'm hoping it is Dragon, because when it comes down to it, I think everything he's done was to protect his only family. And I don't know when he got the tattoo on his face or when he actually started the revolutionaries, but it could be all because of Luffy, and he wanted to protect him and make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. Shout
I'm
out to
hoping
Terrible
that's how it goes anyway.
Yeah, like I'm super hopeful for that. Like some of the times you make just like some of the greatest predictions. 3-Day, it's like I feel like you're definitely mind open with Oda. But I had to shout out to Terrible TJ in the chat. That's my guy. We love Terrible TJ here. Thank you for showing
Terrible
up.
TJ.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Well, it's like this. I mean, I'm a mom, and most people don't even know I have kids, but I could never let anything hurt them. So I kind of understand the parts where he doesn't say anything. He's hiding something. He's protecting something. It'll all come back to make sense.
Mm-hmm. I want to know why Dragon is the only monkey who doesn't naturally smile. Like, you know what I mean? It looks like he's oppressed with life. Like he has an eternal mortgage to pay every day. You know what I mean? Like he only smiles when he's thinking about Luffy, but he's always frowning. Like in those flashbacks, we went drinking. Okay, that was a few times with Kuma where he showed a smile, but it's not his go-to. So I want to know what happened. You know, 'cause he's a monkey D. Garp and Luffy are the opposite.
Well, I think it's not just the monkey Ds, but like the Ds in general are always pretty cheerful, right? And like I'm thinking that like we only really see like one other D clan member who wasn't just like outright just like straight bubbly and cheery for the most part, and that's Law. And Kube, you know how I feel about Law. That's my goat. That's one of my top 3. Like Kuma's crept into my top 3 recently as well, but I think that like I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested to see like more behind all of that.
Yes, same. Honestly, everything is so interesting. The like literally the whole thing is interesting. The whole arc.
All I'm gonna say is this: after seeing this arc, all I can say is this: Luffy did nothing wrong punching St. Carlos and Sabaody. He should have punched every Celestial. I'm sorry. After this flashback, if there's a fandom for the Celestial Dragons, people are a fan of that group. They should be on a watch list.
Bruh.
I will say it because it is dark. Read some dark stuff. You know.
Yeah,
Just
we
a
did a
hunting game.
poll in the TOA Discord recently asking who had the darkest backstory, and this was actually before it got even darker. But it seems most people voted for Kuma. We put Sanji on the list, Robin, Brook, Kuma, and I think one other person, Law as well. Because they're all really dark. But I wanted to see like, cause I know y'all were talking about backstories in the OPU stream last week. Do you think Kuma's, is it just recency bias, or do you think Kuma's like rightfully won that poll and is actually like the saddest backstory that we've gotten in One Piece?
I don't think it's recency bias because honestly, it is. I'm thinking, and me. Okay, I know like this is a really hot take, but like between like I think that apart from Law's backstory, in the Straw Hats, I think that Brook has the saddest backstory. But that's just me. So if I compare to my 2 saddest backstory, which are Law and Brook, I personally think that Kuma's backstory is way sadder. Like it's just like it's like it's suffering after suffering. At least them, it was like a part of their life. I mean, I guess Brook, it's like almost like 80 years. But for the rest, like you know, Kuma is like I feel like he never knew a moment of peace. So he just had like a sad backstory. Like his whole, it's not even a backstory anymore. It's a lifestyle. It's his whole life. So that's why I think he gets the spot, not because of recency bias, but because like literally it's sadness after sadness. And even now when we're gonna get back to like Egghead, like it's going to be sad again. So there's just no good memory for Kuma.
I mean, he had a little brief bit there when him and Ginny were just, you know, before the
I agree, like a little bit.
And then even like whole times with Bonnie, he was still holding on to the grief from like what happened and stuff. So yeah, it's like he had a loving relationship with his daughter for as long as he did before everything got really like bad. But the whole time he was still kind of like bolstering that grief and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like other than, and like even the stretch where him and Ginny were living, you know, decent and getting full meals, you know, for the first time in their life, they still had their childhood that they grew up as slaves and like stuff like that. So it's, you're right, like he has just had such a crazy sad story. But I love that you mentioned Brook as well, because yeah, everyone kind of understates that this man spent like 50 years alone, which is crazy. And I just love every kind of Thriller Bark representation.
Alone with the corpses of his friends on a sailing ship. No, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
I still think that Brook's backstory is more sadder.
I think Laws is a good contender for being up there as well, because he had to like hide under like a pile of the bodies, and like yeah, that is like super dark. It's like when I got to that point, I could not believe that One Piece, and so like, and that's what I think is like what's crazy about Kuma's as well, is I didn't think it could get darker, but I'm pretty sure this did get way darker. And I agree entirely, Hime. I don't think it's recency bias. I think that this is actually definitely the saddest backstory we've gotten.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can't think of one of another character who has a sadder backstory. I don't know if the others like can think of one.
I think also I'm gonna say this. I think the only Straw Hat who doesn't have like, I mean, I think everyone has a very messed up backstory except one of them where it's the Mickey Mouse of backstories compared to the others, and that's Usopp. I'm sorry. I'll say this. Usopp's. I'm waiting because I always say that Usopp's flashback, explained by Mary, could be a big lie because. Think of Usopp's flashback. It is sad his mom died and he lied to people for 10 years that pirates were coming. That's all. That for me, that is like the least saddest of them all. Like everyone else is on the list except Usopp.
Yeah, also Zoro's backstory, he, compared to Usopp's, is kind of the same tragedy. His best friend dying.
Yeah. Yeah, man, because Chopper, because Rob, we talk about Robert Brooke, there's also Chopper, when dude, he was what, 10 years old when his own kind tried to kill him because he was different. You know, then there's the whole scene of Field where he's begging to be accepted and says that I'm sorry, I didn't do anything, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry, I will clean, I have no friend, please don't leave me alone. Like, it's tough.
Yeah.
Then, like you said.
I feel bad because I feel like people I feel like after time skip, like people don't really remember like much about Chopper or talk about him. It's because like he's been done dirty in the story, but like he did have like a really sad backstory, and Drum Island was an amazing arc.
I need to rewatch through it because it's been so long, and
Yeah.
like I remember that was like I was watching the 4Kids dub when I first saw it, and I did not have good opinions about Drum Island back in the day. So I really do need to rewatch through it because I know like for Kube and for our captain Den Kushi, shout out to the guy. They absolutely love Drum Island, and a lot of people hold it like very fondly, and I know Straw Hat Lucas absolutely also loves the Hero Luke flashback and stuff like that. I remember it all, and I'm like, now that I'm older, you know, I'm like, yeah, it's good, but I don't remember it being like a top arc like I've heard some other people say.
You know what the thing is, even me, it's like when that's why like I really enjoyed like my streams, like when we used to do our podcast and talk about arcs. Revisiting arc has to be one of the most beautiful thing. That's why I'm also excited for like when One Piece is gonna end. I'm going to revisit everything, by the way. I'm literally going to do that, and when I revisited Drum Island, you know what stuck with me is the speeches. Like there was so many beautiful speech from like Dr. I always forget his name. You know the doctor. Yeah, exactly. His like when he said that a man cannot be forgotten if like you still remember like what his purpose, his idea, his ambitions, like everything. Like you can't, like even if he dies, he can't die if you remember him. So I really love this speech, and I also love Dr. Kureha. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think like there was amazing like dialogue inside of Drum Island. It was like so deep. I really loved it. Yeah.
It was also the first time we saw one of the goats, the forgotten, the prince of all princes, Ace.
Ooh,
Let's not forget about that. Ace was introduced there.
Ooh, I love that. That's so true.
Yeah, it's like but actually no, now that we talked about we mentioned Drum Island and Dr. Hiduk, because it's something that ever since Arthur made a video analysis of that chapter when we saw the rocks in God Valley, and ever since, I don't know if you've seen that video or even that panel, remember that guy that was in the lower left among the rocks in a silhouette that no one could recognize with that hat and that weird smile? Arthur said that it did look like a sketch of Dr. Hiduk with his hat. So I'm wondering what you like about this idea that maybe Hiduk might have been God Valley.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's great.
But he's not. I don't feel like he's strong. He's a fighter. Like he was never a fighter. So why would he be there?
No, so the thing is, he might have been there before the situation all happened. Or like, because it did say he made like a journey to West Blue and he was searching for the sakura petals, right? And we know that God Valley was in fact called God Valley partly because of their natural resources. That's actually crazy.
And interesting enough, God Valley was 38 years ago, and Dr. Hiduk said everything changed when he came back from his trip 38 years ago. That's what Arthur also mentioned, that it coincides on the time he disappeared. And what do we know about Rox? He's a man whose name was forgotten. Then you have Dr. Hyliuk. You only die when your name is forgotten. Like, it is interesting that he is the one character who talks about a guy like that, and it's like the event where that guy disappears and his name is even forgotten. It's like, so yeah. It's like, yeah, I have to give props to Arthur for that analysis, but I really liked it because it wouldn't be another full circle moment. Because there's something about Korea and Dr. Hyliuk that will come back.
I think absolutely. Like,
Yeah,
Korea it just knows too much. Like, if like her just slyly talking about the Willity, that I won't forget that. I haven't forgotten. You know, like, I need to know more.
She accurately named Roger. She's the one who gave us the actual how he was said to be called.
Yeah, like Willa Dreams in the chat was saying is like that's when Blackbeard was first introduced as well.
Yeah, that's so true. I completely forgot about that.
And then here looks like talking about like great pirates. That was also like one of the first major references to hockey, because he said that they have bodies as hard as steel, and like, you know, like they have like a mind, like I forget what all he was saying, but like they have like a voice that can split the skies and stuff like that. That was before we ever actually saw any hockey feats, I believe.
Yep.
But in his little speech, he was referring to, like, when he was describing pirates, he referred to armament hockey, observation hockey, and conquerors hockey as well. So like, yeah, that guy obviously has to know something.
Yeah, and it does coincide because if you think of like, because we all believe, I think he had an idea on what the Shanks conquerors at the beginning, but he did not have the idea of what hockey is right now. Little Garden is the first time I think where he started to have an idea of it with instinct, how he beat Mr. Shree. So it's very natural that what's the next arc, Drum Island. So it's, you know, and then you have Alabasta with, you know, Breath of All Things with Zoro. So yeah, it does coincide with where I believe hockey became like more concrete in his mind. Yeah. Oof. It's not serious. You know, actually, we're talking pre-time skip. I would like to have everyone's like, what is for you you think is the most for you the underrated? So underrated, so not a mainstream lovable one. So sorry, Vex, you can't say Thriller Bark. Pre-time skip island or arc.
Ooh.
Undervalued.
Yeah, that's a good question. Undervalued? The thing is, like, I feel like you can make an argument for everything but, you know, the top tier ones.
I mean, I'm sorry, you said I can't say Thriller Bark because why? Because
we know Water 7 and its lobbies, Thriller Bark, Marineford, they're so highly regarded. They're nicely
You know
valued.
what?
You know what I mean?
I think me personally, I don't believe this is underrated, but every time I put it in my top arcs, people are always like super surprised, and it's Sabaody. I think that Sabaody is one of the best pre-time skip arcs because because this is where the turning point in One Piece for like how serious and dark One Piece is. You can see like, oh, there's slavery, there's classes, the celestial dragon, there's like this whole dynamic, the slavery with the fishmen. You get to see like another facet of One Piece, and I think that a lot of people just brush it over because it's like so short and it's between like, you know, great peak arcs, but it's such a good arc. I love it so much. Like I'm telling you, like Sabaody is literally the arc where I started liking Luffy for real, because I was like, oh, this is one of the first time where Luffy is getting humbled, where Luffy is not getting plot armor, when Luffy is losing, when Luffy is like, you know, having like this whole like conflict about like, oh my god, all of my teammates, all of my crewmates are getting like, you know, teleported somewhere, like I'm losing everything, what am I doing, what is happening? I really love the conflict. I love everything about Sabaody.
Yeah, I agree. Sabaody is just like Dax said. Sabaody is S tier. It's one of my absolute favorites. But I would, yeah, like you said, I don't think it's underrated. I just think that like people should definitely like pay more attention to like that. Like when I was just rewatching through like bits of it, and I saw in Dax's most recent video on NL and Urouge, fire video by the way. Everybody go make sure to check that out on Dax's channel. But some more significance and like things that I never really paid too close attention to. But if you really go through Saba Odi with a fine tooth comb and like pick at some of the details, I think it's still got so much more. And that's what I'm the most excited is like if we do continue the Kuma flashback to see like his side of Saba Odi. Like not through the Straw Hats perspectives, but through his perspective. You know what I mean? And I would love that even more. I think that would just like retroactively like recontextualize so much more about the arc, and it's already one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Yeah, and also we get to meet the supernovas, which is a very cool introduction of the new generation. So it's nice.
So yeah, well, my list is because every time I see people do tier list, they put it so low. My undervalued island is Lockdown.
Oh my god, Chestnut loves Lockdown. It's in her top arcs. She would love to hear this opinion, but go on.
No, for me, I'll say this. It's not even the dragon reveal. It's not even the smoker reveal. It's like, just think of the anime with the fillers. The undertone messages. The whole moment with Zoro and the Tashigi and the guy selling the sword. And getting the first hints of talking about cursed swords. Like, it creates a lot of stuff. And even like the way they describe Lockdown. It's the island of beginning and end, you know. And in a way, I like the idea that, you know, Arlong Park is where people got really into the, especially with the Nami flashback and Nami asking Luffy to help her, like the help me scene. But for me, I do truly believe like where really One Piece gets intense is start of Lockdown. Like it changed the game completely. It became more serious, you know.
I agree. It's like we saw like somebody who Luffy couldn't just punch. You know, like it was like Arlong was obviously more deep than that, but like it was like it kind of broke the formula of Luffy just like punching harder. You can't punch harder through a cloud of smoke. That was really interesting, and like there's just like so much more significance in the whole side of things before we actually get to the Grand Line and realize how huge the world is. Logtown just gave us so much more, seeing I guess like the waves that Roger had made. In more than just like the little wealth, fame, power like intro, like we really got to see like the impact he had on the world, and I thought it was beautiful. And I would have loved like so much more from Logtown. Like, and I'm glad Oda gave us more in the anime. Like, but I honestly would have loved for Logtown to be like twice as long. Like, I feel like it could have been.
Yeah. That's for me. It's just. It has everything, and also there's one thing I do feel like it's one of the most impressive moments is literally Bug and Vita teaming up to go after Luffy. And as a kid, even I got scared when Luffy got hit by lightning, and then I realized, oh shit, he's a rubber man. How dumb are you, Cube? Because when I read that manga chapter, I really got scared for Luffy. Then when I saw him survive, I said, of course, he's a rubber man. Carry on, Luffy. Like, yeah. It's just it's a very wholesome chapter, arc. And
yeah, I would say.
What about you?
Jaya for sure. Ooh. And I know Cody in the chat, and like I know a lot of people show some love for Jaya, but the general consensus is that it's just like a little lobby, just like a little you walk through it and then you get to Skypiea. No, it is, in my opinion, ridiculously significant, and I have mad love for Bellamy. That's my guy, and I really like everything that's set up. And I know like Blackbeard fans like Chestnut and Cody, and I'm a fan myself, but I'm not on the level of those two. Really vibe with like the scene like where we just perfectly get to see Luffy and Blackbeard just having like their perfectly juxtaposed ideals and like systems, but sharing similar like mannerisms and things like that. It's one of the most perfectly like curated like little mini arcs. Like I didn't even consider it a full arc, and then I saw like everyone else's tier list and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, it's a full arc, and I'm like, good, it should be. Like I would have loved so much more from the whole Jaya situation. So that's what I would say. Shout out to Grand Line Bound. We got Captain Smokey in the chat. That's our doctor, Tony, Smokey, Chopper. But He's our emergency food supply as well. But we love you, Smokey.
Yo, Smokey.
Yeah, Dak is also. I know Dak is Blackbeard top 1. That's his whole vibe, right?
Yeah, man. Blackbeard is it's him with a little H, not a capital H. That's for sure.
Bro, a lowercase. What about for you, 3-Day? If you had to say like what your top like underrated arc was pre-time skip.
Oh man, I don't know. I do like Jaya though, because it kind of showed us what Luffy would fight for. He went from not fighting at all in that bar scene to when you mess with his friends, that's it. So I kind of like that. I don't know. Impel Down's my favorite.
Ooh,
Nice.
great
The
arc.
buggy mainly. But still-
Yo, it is the best. Yeah, me too. It's my favorite, by the way. Go ahead.
no, it just is because he actually parallels Luffy in a lot of ways. I mean, he was doing Nika-like things. He was freeing people from that prison. I just think it's underrated to what it all meant.
That's
Mm,
fantastic.
Think about
and I do love that.
I love
as
it,
as a
Impel Down.
buggy stan. Like I don't know if I'm on the level of He-Man, but I do really love
Listen, I'm the Pope of the Buggy Church.
that.
Dang. I'd say Impel Down has Magellan, and he is probably a forever top 10, if not a top 5, of other side characters besides the main crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Magellan, he's my guy.
I think that whole chunk of the story kind of, and I wouldn't say suffers, but it just like it does fall victim to like people lumping arcs together, like into sagas, which like we saw all of East Blue kind of become the East Blue saga, and but it didn't take away from what Arlong Park was, or like what Orange Town was and things like that. I don't think, but like when you get to like certain like bits, it's like people always lump together Ennie's Lobby and Water 7. And yeah, I get it. They do feed right into each other. And then like Amazon Lily into Impel Down into Marineford, you also kind of see it kind of just get like looked at as one. So I think that Impel Down is actually underrated. Although I do know a lot of people who really love it. I just think that it kind of falls victim to that, like in that part of the story.
And Buggy's keeping up with Luffy every step of the way, whether it's a different route or not, or by accident. It's still happening. So that just makes it better.
But he's the only person I know in life in the One Piece world where failing is a power boost for him. Even when he fails, he succeeds. It's the funniest thing ever.
So Dak is cooking. Yeah, he said he had a cool thought. Shiryu was the jailer in Impel Down, which was like Hell / Dante's Inferno, and Zoro wants to be king of Hell. What if the real king of Hell is like a jailer of
Oh.
and he's talking about the Grim Reaper as well. Yeah, I'm so hyped. Everybody make sure you go sub to the GOAT for some heat that he is cooking up soon. But what about you, Josh? Did you have like a favorite underrated arc from pre-time skip?
I mean, if you talk underrated, I think Little Garden must be it.
Solid.
The first, the first interaction to giants and all that stuff.
True.
Yeah, I really do like Little Garden a lot. Like, I have very fond memories of it, because it's crazy because it skipped like pretty much all of it in the 4Kids dub. So when I went and rewatched through like with the Funimation and like in the sub and stuff like that, I got to see stuff like with fresh eyes that I never got to see before. And I really do love Little Garden. It's fire.
Quick question: who had the bigger fish? Who had the bigger fish? I mean, one was longer, one was thicker. Which one was bigger by volume?
Okay, let's see. We gotta do this. I'm putting up a poll right now.
That's perfect.
No,
I mean, it started a rivalry. They were mad. They weren't going to leave until they settled it. All right.
Zoro and
I might have
Sanji
misspelled this.
had Zoro and Sanji had the same argument as Dory and Bragi. Who got the bigger catch?
For me, Little Garden is one of the moments where when people say Luffy has weird logic, I would like to remind people that in Little Garden, Zoro thought that I can get out of the wax, let me cut my legs off.
Oh man.
That's a wild moment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like for me it's even bigger than what happened in Thriller Bark. That scene that no one remembers about.
I'm just glad Cube didn't say Syrup Village. Like when we asked him his favorite underrated arc.
No. I just said for me, I do like watching Thriller Village. It doesn't bother me as much. But if I take like overall every arc in a pre-time skip, I would never put Syrup Village. There are other ones where I think they're also undervalued. Just don't hate it as much as other people. I don't dislike it.
And then we gotta show a little bit of love for the live action, since they're doing the live action banquet right now with some of our other crew members over on Desness's channel. Do you think that the live action did Syrup Village better than the anime?
Oh.
I wanna go after because I have so much to say about
I
that.
feel like they deflated some things for me. Like I had more fun, in the imagination of before they put an actual thing to it in the live action. I don't know.
I liked it. I just think they spent too much time on it myself.
I agree. I preferred it as somebody who very, very prominently put, like, I'm very adamant about Syrup Village is the bottom of the barrel. I don't think anything in One Piece is bad, really, but that's the closest to like, I would say it's definitely mid, you know what I mean, in my opinion. But Cube, I know that's you're passionate. I want to hear you speak.
No, for me, I just feel like in terms of, well, for me, it's also the weakest point of Syrup Village manga, anime, or live action is, well, the moniker of Kuro does not fit at all the character, because the man with 100 plans, it was a very mid plan. But what I like about Syrup Village, like it addresses a lot of different things. First of all, you get that bigger connection with Shanks, so Usopp, in Luffy. Then you get the introduction of, well, in the manga anime, of hypnosis in One Piece. And if you follow the Django storyline, it explains how literally if someone was actually good, the limit that Django talks about could be done by anyone. So it's very interesting. Especially now with what we've seen with some Cypher Pole agents, they act weird after a certain phone call. Rob Lucci, Guernica, And so I just like, and Kuro's just ability to move that fast. I feel like at that time, it really amped up certain stuff, Whenever I'm at research, I say, okay, that's where stuff are going to get more interesting. So that's why I don't have a big dislike. I have a bigger dislike on Don Krieg as a main villain. That's why I prefer the live action version of the Gorosei. But yeah.
I think we had nice 69% of individuals voted for Dory over Brug. So there you go, Fritz. But
it's kind of like an important question.
No, I love it. Yeah.
Was it like, it'd been something that would have been funny to reveal, like one of them was right, like they had the fish, right?
Oh my goodness. No, yeah, I figured, I don't know, Hime, if you want to speak on Syrup Village, I just know that, I thought Cube would definitely not like it anywhere near as much in the live action, because his boy Django was not even included. But what are your thoughts on, we'll talk about season 1, and then maybe we can talk a little bit about season 2 after this.
So so how I see things is that Syrup Village was way better. Are we talking just live action versus anime, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
go.
we can talk about manga as well, or sub versus dub, but I was just referring to the anime.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like read the Syrup Village manga because Syrup Village is like my worst arc. I hate it with a passion. It's literally bottom tier for me. It's F. It's literally it's Z if we can put it there. So, but
that.
yeah, exactly. but when I watched the One Piece live action, it was really good. They really did it well, and even like the villain, what is his name? Oh my god, I always forget his name. Listen, it's a good thing. Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing because I want to forget him. But yeah, he was so much more of a menace. He was so much more a better villain inside of the One Piece live action. Like inside of the anime, it was just like, oh my god, like can we get done with this? And it was just so annoying and like was like, and Usopp was just not likable. And even Kaya, everything was just so bad. It was just so bad. But in the One Piece live action, it's just like, oh my god, it was done so beautifully. And I was like, oh my god, you see? Now I like Syrup Village. And a crazy take. Syrup Village was actually in the One Piece live action was actually better done than even Arlong Park in the One Piece live action. I think they've effed up the Arlong Park more, which is kind of crazy, you know.
How do you feel about them not having Hachi in the live action? Because it breaks my heart.
The thing is, like, I think it might be because of budget and because like it would be way too hard to like, you know, like to put all the makeup and the stuff. Maybe it was because of budget. Honestly, it could be because of that.
It's saddening though. That means that they'll never make the Fishman Island. They'll never know the way.
Oh my goodness. I think that Hachi will make, like, if they do get to Saba Odi, I think that they're still going to. We just might get like flashback moments because they can still have an impactful character that did, you know, have a history with Nami and stuff like that without showing him so significantly in season 1. Once we get to Saba Odi, if they handle like a little flashback bit properly, I think that it's not too late. We can get Hachi. It's just we didn't get it, which is unfortunate.
And I would like, because we talked about Syrup Village, even though Django wasn't there, when Zoro looks at the Captain Kuro, he says, "Wait, weren't you at the Funky Bar?" Which the Funky Bar is a cover story where Django later on joins the Marines. So I do think with Hachan could be this similar thing where they skip over the Arlong Park thing and they're playing around the cover story, and he might appear at Sabaody, you know.
Yeah, well, we see him. He's also... we see his bounty poster, right? We saw Foxy's, Cavendish's, and
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'd rather had it overplayed than underplayed, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, they had to pick and choose, and again, they were planning on being 10 episodes, and it ended up getting cut to just 8, so I can understand not everything could have made it that they were originally planning for. And I think they did a really good job. I was like over the moon about it when it first came out, and yeah, that was a little bit of recency bias, but I think enough time, and I can say it's like I stand by my rating. I gave it like a solid 8 out of 10, which is exactly how many episodes it got. 8 out of 10.
I would say that as far as live actions go, it was probably one of the only ones that I've actually considered and enjoyed watching. And like, there's these other ones like the Yu Yu Hakusho one. Isn't it like either just come out or is coming out? I'm not excited to watch that. I don't plan to. I haven't watched any Full Metal Alchemist. I've only seen the clips, and it to me, it's just not what you would expect.
I think that the Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Yu Yu Hakusho live actions look really solid so far. And I'm super happy that they're doing like One Piece broke the curse, and now that people have seen a whole bunch of what not to do, and something finally got critically, you know, like well received and decent ratings, and like I think that they kind of like reinvented like the standard for what a good live, like, I don't think there were good live actions until we got what we got for season 1, and I think that is going to step up the quality significantly for season 2, but also for all these other live actions that are popping up now. I'm super excited, but I do think it could have done a few things better, if I'm being nitpicky.
And I do believe also it's not I think it's anything that's logical. I think the episodes that got the most cut moments, you know, Oda did mention that there was some stuff that's why it's taking a bit longer, because some stuff, you know, he didn't agree with how it was the end result. I think Arlong Park got a lot of cutscene, because the whole thing with Genzo is just weird. The more I think about it, like why show him at the beginning if you're not going to make him that important to the story? You know what I mean? Like there's, like I feel like Arlen Park suffered the most cutscenes, scenes that they couldn't keep anymore. Because it's just
I
weird those two
agree.
episodes.
Yeah, I wanted a lot more from it, but I did still like it. Yo, what's up, Doran? In the chat, that's my guy. Shout out to you. I wanted to ask, like, if we had any, like, 3 days talking about like, keeping the iconic scenes, which we loved a lot of them. I remember watching some of it, like in a watch party in the TLA Discord, and the vibes were just so real. Just like when we watched Gear 5 together and stuff like that. I love my crew, and I'm just wondering if we could like ask everybody what iconic scene coming up do you think that you think they'll do really well, or maybe that you're worried about. The 3-day, if you wanted to speak on maybe what we will possibly see in season 2, is there anything that you're looking forward to the most, or you might be worried about as far as the iconic scene?
Well, Luffy hitting Vivi seems like a bad idea. And
I agree.
Oh,
I don't think that would go over very well.
It's gotta
How are they
happen.
going to do water, Luffy? That would be great.
He said it's gotta
Keep it
happen.
in.
They're rated E for everyone. All right.
Oh my goodness. I think it's essential. I think it's
One that'll be pissed off. They probably
Oh,
will.
man.
I'm not kidding. I think
I
they
think it-
will.
They could be strong and independent and still catch hands. Like,
Just how would that really, play out with, I can't see him doing that in real life. It is hard to see that.
What if he just like vibe checks her like really hard and just does like, instead of like a power ride in the kisser, just like a chest bump and like he gets knocked over. So like I don't know, I think it is a necessary moment. You know what I mean? Like, but I understand what you're saying. Just like they can't really like overstate the whole like Sanji gag. They gotta make it a little bit more, tasteful for today's like crowd. Shout out to my guy Majin Crow showing up. If you could come through and like de-stream with all of your alts, that would be great, brother. But we love the OPU fam here. That's a really good answer, 3-day. I like
I know,
that.
but I feel like if they can't be who the characters are, then they should shut the doors, though. If they can't play out these scenes in the way that they are intended, then go ahead and call it wraps.
Yeah,
I
I'm just saying it's going to be controversial.
Yeah,
really-
I agree with what you're saying, Fritz, but at the same time, like a lot of things in season 1 were they were framed a little bit differently, and it was because like Oda has more experience behind him, and the story is so much bigger now than he ever anticipated it being then, that he can kind of recontextualize certain scenes to be more fitting for today's audience. That's like the whole, I don't want like a full a cookie cutter copy paste. I like that there are certain things that are getting re-innovated from stuff that was over 20 years ago. Like I'm open to some creative flexibility.
Yeah.
But if it takes away from what the moment was supposed to provide us, I'm not gonna be so accepting of it. But if they do it right, I think it's fine.
Another instance, though, like, where's the flexibility in having a basement full of children, or where they have an entire race of fairies, working until they can't no more? Like,
Bruh. Is that what your answer? Is that what you're worried about? No, I'm kidding. No,
no, it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, you start cutting corners, then you're gonna have to start deleting entire like sagas and moments of the story, and then
I think that they did kind of we saw Fishman at Baratier and stuff like that. Like they did do like a bit of like a switch up on certain things, and I'm okay with them kind of expediting certain bits of the story. But again, it's just if they do it right. But Josh, I wanted to see what you might be most excited or most worried about as far as season 2 of the live action. Like an iconic moment.
Are you asking me this? I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if it was for me or is it for
I
somebody?
was asking Josh. He's muted up.
Oh,
right
Josh.
now,
Oh,
though.
okay,
So
okay,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, you
Yeah, I
can
wasn't
spit.
sure.
Like, if you had a moment in mind, like, let us hear it.
No One Piece live action?
Yeah, for like what's to come from season 2.
That I'm excited about, I guess. Yo, honestly, I'm more excited of like who they're going to like to have play as Robin and Crocodile, if I'm being honest. Like I'm more excited about the actors, but yeah, like everything like Alabasta, like how the scenery, how they go into like like I think it's gonna look beautiful. I guess also like the fight between Luffy and Crocodile. I think that's what I will be the most excited about.
I want to see them try to ride the Sonic Ducks in the live action. How is that going? That's gonna
Man.
be
Oh my goodness.
That'd be fun. I want to see it. Like,
fun, very fun.
Bro, the Kung Fu Dugongs, like.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Was that gonna be your
yeah.
answer, Josh?
Just put Cody in a costume.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Grand Line Bound, Captain Smokey's Alabasta review, where he got so many wonderful people to do voices from the community. It was part 1, part 2 coming when. But Cody was the absolute perfect voice of the Kung Fu Dugongs, and I loved it. Josh also played Crocodile, and
Dugon.
yeah, it was fire. I absolutely loved it. But Cody was perfect as the Dugongs. I think that's a wonderful idea. But yeah, was there any moment specifically, Josh, that you were like iconic moments that you think will be hit in season 2? Either that you're most excited for or that you're like most worried about.
I'm excited for seeing Mr. 2 in live action. Yeah, bon Clay.
Excellent answer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for
I have one that won't get me blacklisted. I swear. I promise. I want to see Usopp defending the steps. Going all out, dude. Holding the big hammer, putting the fear. All right, that is what I want to see. I want to see that play out so well because, I mean, that was a big moment for me. Like I had a lot of Usopp hate because I'd seen so many episodes of One Piece in his beginning, and I was like, this guy to me is one of the biggest frauds in the whole show. But
yeah, I mean,
there's recent things. I'm not saying that he's like that
I
to me
won't
now.
speak on anything now, yeah, but I see Cube is muted up, so I'll go next, and then we'll get to Cube.
I gotta see him do that,
Yeah,
defending
love
the
that.
steps is a big scene.
Yeah, that's a great answer, honestly. And man, I need to rewatch through Alabasta too. Like, this is great. Am I just gonna do a full One Piece rewatch? I probably should, but
It's where he gets one of his first man cards. I swear.
for me, I was really nervous watching all of season 1 and seeing all of the spoilers and things like that, and the fact that I was like, are they just gonna write out Smoker? Like, we don't get Smoker at all. And then seeing that, in the post credits that they have included Smoker and that like they're trying to hype him up big, and I'm thinking that like obviously, like I don't know, I'm interested because I would love to see the like Ace versus Smoker like showdown, like
that fight
two
is
Logias
crazy.
in the live action, like I would absolutely love that. So I'm super hyped for that, and like that introduction of a character was really freaking hilarious to me. Like, and so I can't wait to see like Iñaki just like clueless, like eating his soup while all this stuff's going on around him. Like, I think that might be what I'm looking forward to the most. But what about you, Cube?
Me, there's just one scene I want to see. Drum Island, the Sakura flowers. That beautiful scene that we have in the anime. I want to see it, how it's going to be in the live action. That they can't miss it. One of the most beautiful images in One Piece. I'm a simple man. I just need my flowers and I'm good.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's adorable. I know you have a soft spot for Drum Island, like I was saying earlier. So I do hope that they do it right. pretty
I'm wondering
nervous
I mean,
about like the whole chopper thing, and then like like the Will of Dreams I think said that they might just cut, or somebody said in the chat that they'll probably just cut all, or Duran said it, they might cut all of the animals because it would just be kind of difficult to do all the CGI, or like they're big onto the practical effects side of things, and like working with animals is difficult, and One Piece animals are so crazy as well.
what about
I mean-
Laboon?
Oh man,
Mm.
we gotta get Dak
Just
back in
getting
here.
well.
Yeah, Laboon. If Laboon doesn't go crazy, I'm gonna be so sad. Like if that's not like peak, like it was, like I don't know. That's
Is Luffy gonna try to chin check Laboon because Laboon wants somebody to to play with, to spar with?
Oh my goodness. I'm like, so this is my crazy tinfoil theory, is that like we ended and they were like, yeah, let's go to the Grand Line and stuff like that, and we got like a scene that was supposed to be at Logtown like before, like, and like are they just gonna hit like Reverse Mountain first episode? But I think that they'll probably do Logtown first because they spent such a large amount of time setting up the execution scene and like showing us Logtown there and stuff. I think that we'll probably get that first. I hope so. But even before then, I need us to go to the island of strange animals or whatever. I want to see Gaimon. My hope isn't lost. I need Gaimon in the live action, please. Like, that's my thing though. I don't know.
dude, it's not even that hard, Gaimon. You just need someone's head. That's all.
Need Danny
Smokey.
DeVito popping out of a treasure chest.
Nah, bro, we need Smokey to get that role.
Yeah, man. I think I'll say this. I think the one person who is the most unluckiest in life is Gaimon. Just been stuck for the last 24 years inside a treasure chest.
Nah, he made besties with the whole island.
Well, now he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, he's Giga Chad now. Like, I'm here for it. Like, say it with your chest. That's like he like really like can, you know what I mean? Like.
Mm.
But yeah, is there anything else anyone had that they wanted to say maybe about like the live action that we've seen so far, or season 2, or we can move on to another topic?
Let's talk about that female girl at Roger Execution who had the same earrings as Crocodile. Just saying. Just saying.
You guys think we're getting Crocomom? You think we're gonna get that confirmed
No.
in the live
no, we're not
action?
getting-
though?
We're not getting Crocomon. We're getting She-Dial, however. The female's
I
Crocodile.
feel like I'm being cheated just getting that kind of stuff in the live action. I mean, I'll take it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested, and there's like a lot, like even if you don't believe the Croco mom theories, but seeing like that there is a lot of relevance to the fact that Crocodile might absolutely have been like assigned female at birth, or like I think that's like really interesting, and if they do, I think that's really ambitious. Like, it's crazy if they do that in the live action before we get anything in the actual panel. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd be really crazy. I wouldn't be mad at it or anything. It's just I think that that's wild that we wouldn't get anything from the manga, and we'd actually learn. It's like when Stampede like spoiled manga readers for Raftel being Laugh-Tail.
Yeah.
It's just like such a bold choice to do it there instead of in the panels, you know.
Or having at episode 3 of the live action break the big mystery of we got in chapter 413 of Garp being Luffy's grandfather. For some people, because they speed at a reveal very fast. No mystery, nothing.
I liked that they introduced Garp earlier. I think we spent a little bit too much time seeing Garp, but it was cool for the reveal at the end and stuff like that. I love that Garp was at Roger's execution in the live action, because that makes so much sense to me. Even though people want to like say that the timelines don't match up because he had to be fighting Shiki, that happened like a week earlier. And if Shanks can get like from the New World to Marineford in like less than a week, I'm sure that, you know, people can get to the East Blue, especially because Logtown's like right there.
Yeah.
but I loved that. And I'm just a big fan of Garp, so seeing more Garp is great. I thought they did a good job in the live action. It's just I feel like we spent a little bit too much time on that, where we could have gotten more for Usopp, you know. Like yes, Duran, I hope for 12 episodes. Like I want to see like a full season, you know, for the live action season.
Not to make a long goodbye, but I gotta dip. You guys have a great, wonderful rest of your stream. It's good to be with you again, Hime. You guys you just keep balling.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Yeah, that's our shipwright of the last arc, keeping us held together. We appreciate you, Fritz. Have a good rest of your day, brother.
You too.
But yeah, Cube, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up, or I could do another topic.
Honestly, no, go on, because I had something, but it just left my mind. Go on with your topic. I'm most likely it'll come back to me.
Yeah, so this one might get a little spicy, because the dragon talk went over so well, and I'm so glad that you're feeling more hopeful, Hime. But
Yeah.
let's talk about Mihawk.
About Mihawk? Yeah, I mean, we can. Listen. I will. Okay, we can. Whenever.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, like, we've been eating a little bit as people, like, you know, wanting more info on Dragon, and we haven't gotten a whole lot on Mihawk lately. Tell me where you currently stand with, do you put him, like, blatantly on the Fraud Watch agenda, like, or where are you with the Mihawk thing?
Okay, so Mihawk, I do believe that Mihawk is super strong. Super strong. He is just right underneath Shanks. Just right underneath Shanks. This is where I scale him. Unfortunately, we have not seen feats and anything that could like help us scale him better. We have a title, but again, so many people in One Piece have a title, and they're unfortunately like not necessarily stronger than other people. And I just don't think that we should just rely on titles. We should actually look at feats and look at portrayal. And when it comes to portrayal, I think that Shanks just is portrayed better and has just better hockey proficiency in hockey, and is just, I don't know, and also has way more ambition. So how I see things is that for you to be actually top in a verse, you have to also have a lot of will, ambitions, and you have to like keep going into like keep having hockey blooms and fighting adversities and stuff like that. And for somebody who's like Mihawk, who doesn't really have ambitions and like just like, you know, is just searching for a rival, and just like also went inside of the Cross Guild, which is an organization that I love, but it's still like he fell off by doing that, in my opinion. I just don't see how he would be stronger than Shanks. I don't know why I brought up the Shanks and Mihawk. I know you just were talking about Mihawk, but I feel like this is the biggest debate regarding Mihawk. But otherwise, he's a cool character. I think he's super good looking. His aura is amazing. Everything about him is cool. But yeah, otherwise, that's all I have to say about Mihawk.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like everything we've gotten so far from Mihawk. It's interesting, like you said, seeing the Cross Guild connections, and like I don't know, it was interesting like seeing him kind of sweat a bit whenever they were bringing up going up against like 3 Yonko and stuff like that, and like during Buggy's like amazing speech and stuff like that. And I think that as like it's crazy to put him on the same crew as Buggy as well. And like you said, with the title,
Yeah.
and with his bounty and things like that, there's like a lot of people who are wanting to scale him currently. And you're right, we don't currently have enough feats to go off of. But I know a lot of people want to like, you know, bring out that like Marineford specifically whenever they're talking about like his alleged fraudulence and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just think that it's kind of like Crocodile the first time around in Alabasta, there's honestly no way that Luffy should have realistically been able to take him out at that point. It was like it was just that it was so early into the story. They couldn't show us Haki. They couldn't show us like Oda was like playing his cards closer to his chest, like with like the whole rocks reveal, and we haven't gotten everything from that. So I don't feel like we could have gotten everything in Marineford that we will get once we actually see him flex. But I'm here for it. I might be looking forward to that more than the dragon stuff, honestly. But we haven't gotten a lot to go off of recently, so I just wanted to like see where you were standing on that. Does anyone else have any Mihawk thoughts they wanted to bring up since we're talking about Fraud Watch today?
I will actually defend Mihawk on the Marineford. If you have to bring up that moment where he attacks Whitebeard and it barely damages Jozu, can we talk about the very suspicious Sengoku, who is in one punch can send every Blackbeard pirate against a wall, or some of them feeling the effect of it. But when he punches Luffy, who is not at all at third level, who is much weaker, was barely bleeding, and was still able to move and get his brother out. I'm calling Sengoku being more sus than Mihawk in that arc. It does not make sense, if you think about it.
Interesting. I feel like with Sengoku, it's just that he had so much more to lose. Like Mihawk doesn't have like the worldly connections that somebody who's a man of stature and who, like his reputation, like is a big thing, and he has a lot of soldiers on the battlefield with him. I think that it's just that Sengoku has so much to lose. I'm not like saying that like I think that might be why we kind of see him acting like the way that he does, is he has to be, and plus he's being like under a microscope, whereas Mihawk's just straight chilling, like you know what I mean, like for the most part in most of Marineford.
Is Mihawk known by that name to insinuate he is like has peak observation Haki and future sight?
I would think so. Like I don't see him as
I'm not into power scaling that much, so I don't really know, but I had a little theory that maybe during their rivalries and when they fought, Mihawk and Shanks, it was Shanks always losing at first because of his future sight and observation Haki. Mihawk maybe could win, but that's why Shanks learned how to do observation killing.
I love that. Yeah, I completely agree. Like I think that it's interesting because like I don't see Mihawk as a conqueror, like how Hime was saying. Like he doesn't have that true ambition to face like adversities and like to like he wants to fight the strongest person, sure, but like I think maybe that might only be to get a Haki bloom, and he doesn't see Shanks as potentially somebody who can give that to him anymore or something since he lost the arm. But like I don't see him as like a truly ambitious individual. And it kind of goes in with what Duran is saying in the chat, is that like he said that it's not really like fitting of his character role, and like I think that it's kind of perfect within the narrative that he would join Cross Guild, because he's not a conqueror, but he admires people who have that ability, like he said about Luffy, and like we can clearly see with the future, pirate god Buggy, like he has the ability to make people follow him, which is like what he said was like the strongest power on all of the seas, right? And Buggy has that. He doesn't have a crew. He doesn't want people following him. He doesn't want to like be like a Nakama or anything like that. He is just like trying to, I guess, fight like the biggest fight and stuff like that. So it doesn't make a total sense that he's in Cross Guild unless you really take into the effect that he does bow to the power that he saw Luffy and then eventually Buggy have. He understands that's the true strongest power on the ocean. And so I love that. I don't think he's a conqueror, but I think by all means he has peak, like beyond advanced, mastered observation Haki and mastered armament Haki, like the most you can humanly get. But I think he's still missing that conqueror's piece of the puzzle.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, for me, I think for me he's a conqueror, but not in the sense. I think he's a conqueror same way Rayleigh and the point that what Luffy and Whitebeard, people like that, need to be, or Roger need to be conquerors. He is more content, but he's always in the search of that, you know, he has a desire always to fight with the strongest. But I would agree that it does not make him a conqueror. Like, I do want to make a difference between Whitebeard, those type of conquerors with Rayleigh and Mihawk and Zoro. People who are conquering all rights, but they're also willing to listen to other people, follow other people. You know, inspired by other people, you know.
Yeah, and like we for sure know not all conquerors are built the same way. Like you've got some Don Chinjiaos and some like I get like Kid and like I guess like I don't want to slander like Ace or anything like that, but we didn't see a lot of conquerors feats from him like that we saw from like some of the top in the verse. You know, like there's like a lot of levels to conquerors. There's all three types of hockey. There's a lot of levels. I think that at the very least, Mihawk has mastered 100% mastered observation, and like because he was originally supposed to be named, his nickname was supposed to be Clairvoyant, but Oda changed it to Hawkeyes. And I love that. I know Cube has brought that up to me like a dozen times in VCs over the couple months that we've been vibing and stuff. But and then with him having a black blade, and I do believe it's an actual black blade, like a permanently black blade, I would say that he probably has absolute mastery over armament as well. If he has any conquerors whatsoever, I put him at like below Don Changeout level. Like I don't think he has it at all, but if he has it, he doesn't have a good grip on it. You know what I mean?
I'll be right back very quick. 1 second.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
I think you're right, vexyz, because it seems like Zoro didn't even know he had conquerors. If Mihawk had it and taught it to him, he would definitely know, right?
I would say. And like that might be the leg up that Shanks needed to get, because I think that with observation killers specifically, it's a combination of conquerors and observation. And I think that that's the reason why Shanks was able to pull ahead in the rivalry. And I think that's the reason why Zoro will actually be able to defeat Mihawk. End of story.
The thing is with the Zoro unlocking, because I think Conqueror is a bit different, because if you said Conquerors, it's always real life experience. And before Wano, I think we all agree, Zoro was more, even though he fought for his crew, he always put his ambition before anything else. He always mentioned about, I'm gonna become the #1 swordsman and help out my crew. And Wano was the first time where he put aside his own ambition. So I do feel like the Conqueror unlock is because maybe Zoro finally like understood something that Kid didn't understand. You know, there's the real reasons why you're fighting, not just for your ambition. So I could also think that for Conqueror, at least for Zoro, that it could be more about him making, you know, the right choice. You know, having the right thought process. You know, using his haki, which unlocked it. Because I think with Mihawk being all alone and just his ambition, maybe that was not enough, you know. If you just fight for yourself, you will never become a conqueror. But then in Wano, you see Zoro, he even like pledged to defeat Orochi for Yasui, which he has never done that for people before. It's only for his crew and himself.
Like Will of Dreams just said, if you don't have conquerors and you rival a top conqueror user, that makes you that much greater. And that's what I think too. I think Shank, the rivalry was because they were basically even, and his sword skills or whatever was the reason he had to. Shanks had to end up learning to be, what do you call it?
Observation killer.
Observation killer. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. I've been thinking that ever since we got like Volume 4 Billion. Like the Black Man Who Laughs just put into chat, he said, I think Mihawk is a conqueror, but his ambition is in swordsmanship only. He only flexes in sword duels. And I like the like, it's like a duel is a 1v1. So like, what do you need a crew for at that point? He doesn't want to flex as a captain. And that was a thing that was an issue with the Rocks Pirates. I believe they said that there were too many captains, too many conquerors. Like, too many people wanting to steer their own ship in their own direction, and so they were, you know, torn apart by that. This man doesn't want a crew. He doesn't want to be like anything except for just like 1v1, like, you know, the greatest swordsman there ever was. And so I think that's like maybe what's stunting his like, because you know, like I feel like hockey can absolutely be stagnated, or even maybe potentially hockey can like get, maybe you lose it if you don't use it over time. Like I don't know, with Crocodile, after he got his like dreams crushed by Whitebeard, you guys think that that would have affected his hockey, and that's why he wasn't using it back in Alabasta?
That's interesting.
Well, we know with Aokiji there's a pattern, because you know, data book information, something happened in Aokiji years ago, which he lost his fiery hot justice, where he became lazy, and then you have this passage where he can't use hockey for some reason, and that's how he goes to Garp. So I wouldn't be shocked that there's depression, those kind of stuff, you know, like the moment Luffy and Zoro became depressed because of Perona, nothing in their body would function. Only Usopp was the only one to bypass that, because I'm already a depressed person, negative person. So yeah, I know, air quotes on how Usopp said it. So I think it could be a thing. Like, I think it's like a bicycle. You might never forget how to ride a bicycle, but you won't be fluent with it. You would need a couple more tries to, you know, be as good as you were a couple of years ago. You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like it's just like, so like, yeah, hockey is like the it's like more or less the manifestation of your will. And if somebody like comes in and just like crushes your will, or if your will falters, I think that's like the opposite of a hockey bloom, right? Like if you let it be. Like there's people who face near-death situations and choose to overcome. And like, you know, like I know you're an MHA fan, like push past, you know, like the Go Plus Ultra, you know, like and then there's people who just are like decide like, well, never doing that again. You know, like and I feel like it's like it could go either way. You could either get a hockey bloom, or you could like get a hockey drought, maybe, you know, so to speak. I don't know. But that's like what I think.
By the way, I'm back. Just wanted.
What's good?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't. Do you, Hime? We were talking about. Do you think you can like lose like a hockey, like how like a reverse hockey blue? Like if
okay.
Go ahead.
I've seen this happen. I've seen this like I don't know if it's a theory or whatever, but I do believe that if you say so it would explain why some villains were not as strong as we thought they should be, regarding like their title or whatever, like how they were portrayed. Example, I would say, like, for example, Arlong, why was he like that weak, you know? Or even like Crocodile, like, you know, when you stay in the parts of like One Piece where it's like the weakest parts, he's blue. Like if you don't like go to the new world, I think that you become weaker with time. If you don't like fight, you don't do anything, you just sit down and you don't have any more ambition. It would also explain why Moria is so weak. I think that like to be able to like maintain that strength, you have to keep going. That's why like people like Rayleigh, like Shanks, they were still strong because they will still keep going at it. Like, and also I think that people forget that even Oda, I think in I don't know where he answered that, maybe in an SBS or something, he said that the reason why a lot of like the women in One Piece look old and ugly and some of them don't, it's because when you give up on your dreams and you just like give up on everything, it will also affect your physical appearance. So I think that it also affects like your strength as a person.
Yeah, like your mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I agree. Yeah, we were saying that like, because like with Crocodile specifically, Jose saying that he's like maybe the perfect example for that theory, is that yeah, like and Moria is another good one who I think fits it as well. Like Moria got crushed by Kaido and lost his whole crew, and Crocodile was like mortally wounded and like, you know, by Whitebeard, and had to like go back, and like the fact that they went backwards instead of choosing to keep, you know, going past their limits and like have an actual hockey bloom, they went down the other route and like maybe lost like some like, because it's like if your hockey is your will, and if your will is crushed and you lose the will to keep fighting, you don't have that hockey anymore, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna add what you guys said, especially I love what Hime just. you think about it, the two people in the crew we know that were at least at their peak physical condition was Luffy and Zoro, because one trains constantly and one trained like a crazy person for 10 years. So you mix that, those people being at least among the crew, the strongest of the crew at the time. Like even Sanji, I think he needs to level up to reach a certain level that of Luffy and Zoro. You mix that with those people losing their will, you know, a bit of it. It would make sense why Luffy and Zoro was able to defeat certain like Mr. One, Crocodile, Moria, Kaku, Rob Lucci. You know what I mean? It would make sense, you know, with that, you know, that difference. Even Bellamy comes back and replenish, you know, with a bit more energy this time. You know, it could be a way of, you know, Oda's how he got away with it, because it's, you know, it's Crocodile. It's gonna need to have some sort of power boost if he's supposed to represent, you know, a Yonko faction as well with Buggy and Mihawk. Can't just be Mihawk.
I mean, you got Buggy. like Buggy solos, but no, honestly, I'm so like with no memes or anything. Like I really do think that like Buggy, like he's absolutely gotta conquers. I just don't know when or how we're gonna like get that reveal, that huge flex. You know what I mean? It's literally not even like a meme. It's not even like me. It's just like from a literary standpoint, he has to have it, and like I can't wait for that moment. So, is it like let's speak on the future king of the pirates, like Buggy, really quickly. Like what are y'all's thoughts for the future of Buggy?
Honestly, for me, Buggy, I think he's gonna be on top of the world. I don't know how, but
Oh my god, yes, we love to see it.
we know he's gonna be on top of the world.
Listen, so if we go with the same logic, okay, where we're saying that like people with ambitions, with goals, with will, like they're the one who like, you know, end up like being the strongest in the verse. I think that the moment where Buggy wanted to claim the One Piece was the turning point for the Buggy character, because let's be honest, like he has a broken devil fruit, and he has like everything going on for him, charisma, luck, everything. Like everybody follows him, you know. He's like a Luffy, but a gag Luffy. So the thing is, the moment he was like, I'm gonna go after the One Piece, and he just changed his whole mentality, is where I can see him like becoming also one of like these top like people, like these strong people that we're going to see by the end of the story. Just because of that, because it just makes sense with like the whole theme of One Piece, like will, ambitions, and goals, and it just makes so much sense. And also, like, let's be honest, if his devil fruit awakened, it would be kind of crazy.
Hey May, I have a question. Have you seen the Rain God Buggy theory from Parvision, where he says that Buggy is the one that got the wheel stuck in Shiki's head?
Bro.
That he
No way, I didn't see that. No, I didn't. That's so interesting.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. You'll love it.
That's amazing. I like one of my favorite Buggy theories as well is a friend of the channel, Star Knight Andy Lex, has just so wonderful, like it's like comedy, you know, like comedy hockey and like love hockey kind of, and like a lot of it focuses on like Sniper King and Buggy and Usopp and like a few of the other like characters that, and like I haven't heard of the Par one that you just mentioned, so I gotta check that out. But I love any theory that goes really in on Buggy. Like I absolutely love them. So that's crazy.
That's the reason that Shiki has the steering wheel stuck in his head, because Buggy awakened during that moment, and that's what happened. That's why he's not dead. He was put back together with Buggy from Buggy, and that's
so
in his head now.
That's so crazy. I love that so much. And like to kind of draw that to the recent chapter, like if like in 1101, you know, spoilers ahead for if you guys haven't read it, but we see that. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. In 1101, we see that specifically Bonnie's able to do things that like we're not really sure like why she's able to do this with her fruit, and if like we've already seen with Law that he is able to, you know, recreate sort of other devil fruit powers within his, and now we're seeing that Bonnie is doing something kind of similar. I'm wondering if, I don't know, like if Buggy's fruit is also like capable of doing this, like the same thing. Like that's kind of like something that we would expect from Law's fruit, right? Like, so I don't know. It seems to me like it would be crazy if we start to get more of that moving forward into the story and seeing like exactly what's going on with the whole Bonnie situation. But seeing that really happen, in full mastery from Buggy himself, that he's able to use these powers to recreate some of the, like, and the up is one of the most powerful devil fruits that we've seen. It was referred to by the world government, I think, or by Doflamingo, as the ultimate devil fruit. And to be able to recreate those abilities, and maybe more even, with Buggy's fruit is crazy. It is broken, like you said, Hime.
Yeah. Listen, Buggy is just him, y'all. Like, he's the future Pirate King. If argue with Oda, because I'm telling you, even if he isn't the real one, he's going to be labeled as the Pirate King.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so too. Either that or King of the World and Luffy's Pirate King.
Yeah.
If
I love
Emu
that,
has a red nose, I'm going to die.
But I love that. My favorite Buggy line in the manga was, I was rereading through the ASL flashback and like post-war and Return to Saba Odi, and seeing like the start of the post-time skip era, and it's crazy because there's like a chapter where we see like some dragon, you know, like trying to rally the individuals and things like that. It's called The Will of the Wind, and like right, I think at that chapter or a chapter or so later, we see Buggy, and he's now with Buggy's delivery service, and he's wearing his new post-time skip drip, and like he's got like warlord status, and he's like straight up just like, the winds of the world don't blow from east to west, they blow to me. And like I'm just like, dude, what a flex, like what a line. That was like such a cold line, and I it's one of my favorite panels.
Wait, who said that again?
Buggy.
Oh my god, yeah, Buggy is him, bro. Even
That's
I didn't know this code. I need to insert this code inside of my book.
Yeah, it's one of the coldest quotes I've seen. I'll find the chapter and send it to you in the Chibi Girls Discord. But yeah, it is so cracked. Like that moment, I remember reading it because I watched like first I was anime only, and then I went back and reread through a lot of things. But that moment was like goosebumps for me. I was like, oh my gosh, like that is crazy that this guy just said that. Because we're seeing like, you know, a lot of wind significance with like dragon and things like that, and for this guy to just like show up and just be like, nah, the winds don't do this in this world, they do what I want them to do, like that was crazy. That was like one of my favorite moments.
Put it in the Buggy Bible for the New Testament.
The Buggy Bible.
Yes, I love it.
Oh my goodness. So where did the love for Buggy start? Was it like, because I know you said you caught up in, or you were getting current in like Thriller Bark, right? Did you love him all the way from back in Orangetown, or was it like Impel Down that really like settled it for you?
I was intrigued in Orangetown, and even I was watching it at that time with like my ex, and I was like, not even with my ex, like I told my ex at that time when I was watching, I was like, yo, I told him like I love this man since like Orange, since like the first appearance. But I wasn't like, oh, he's the best character ever, I'm a fan or whatever. I was like, oh, he's so interesting, he's so funny, like I want to get to know more about him. But then Impel Down came, and I was like, oh my god, that's it. It's like love at first sight. I just, and the long hair, oh my god. Listen, Buggy just
drip.
stole the show. Like
Yeah,
the
Buggy drip and
broadcasting.
Until Dawn was crazy.
Bro, the broadcasting also during Marineford, that was so hilarious. I love it. I just love how like he's such like an imposter. Like it's just like, oh my god, imposter syndrome. Like you have to have Buggy right next to the definition. I love it.
Oh man, Cody, yes. Get in here, hop in if you're done with the Desness stream. I know you were really wanting to spit with Hime, and yes, SSJ8 Cody, the special grade sorcerer of the last arc himself. Like, please hop into the stream VC and join us, brother. I would love to, bring some of your passion. We're talking about Buggy right now. But yeah, hop in, brother. That'd be crazy.
I did.
Oh, but what's up? Sorry, my stream hasn't.
That's why I'm the special grade.
You just snuck up. Yeah, we're talking Big Buggy love right now. We've talked about Mihawk, we've talked about Dragon, but we're specifically talking about the future Pirate King himself, or God Buggy. You got any takes for us?
Buggy is actually going to achieve being the final Pirate King after, like, I've had this grand theory that, like, after Luffy gets the One Piece, he's gonna, like, realize that treasure isn't really what's gonna further him towards his actual dream, and he's gonna see Buggy's dream is to be Pirate King on this earth, so before Luffy leaves it, he's gonna be like, yo, this is yours, and he just gives it to him. That's what I think's gonna happen. Buggy just fails upwards, and it just like fits in that character. Like,
Oh my god, I agree.
oh my goodness, how's everyone doing? I feel out of it.
Yeah, we were spitting about the live action a little bit earlier. We're talking about what we would expect from season 2, as well as what's coming up in the Egghead arc for the anime. We've been having a really chill stream. How's everything over at the banquet?
Crazy. There was a lot of people. There's a lot of theories, a lot of hype, a lot of man, I can say spoilers here. Man, dog, do you know how crazy it is to not talk about Smoker and not want to be like, man, how's your biggest feat gonna be stopping Ace? Getting stopped by Ace. How's your biggest
Wait, what's wrong with being stopped by Ace? I'm confused.
No, man. Imagine, like, Smoker's supposed to do something, and he didn't.
He's still cooking. Like, you gotta think of like when you smoke ribs, it's a slow cook. It takes like 14 hours.
It's a slow cook.
Not 15 years since Punk Hazard, though, Vax. Come on.
My goodness. But I haven't been week to week since back then, like you and Hime have. So I mean, maybe that's why I'm a little bit more lenient, because I just binged, and like through a binge, it's fine, like, for me. But I get it. I want to hear some of this passion. I'm
just not lenient because I saw the Chekhov's gun of Tashigi, so I am supposed to be seeing Smoker, because with Tashigi at the hip is Smoker. Like, it's they're one. Like, what is happening?
Well, you gotta think.
What is?
If he's
I thought. I thought.
But if he's not hip to hip with her right now, he must be doing something important, right?
That's what I thought. But then I saw Granny Ride Fruit as a vice admiral raiding Egghead instead of, I don't know. Could you imagine what is supposed to be the Garp to Luffy, who has the vendetta to hunt down Straw Hat 24/7? Like, you remember when we saw the God Valley flashback, and like Garp was all chill, and then he heard Roger's name and was like, Senpai, oh no, like, man, where is Smoker? Smoker is my Mario Judah.
Do you have any thoughts on Smoker? He's
a walking L. Like listen, the problem here is that he was like he had a super cool devil fruit. I feel like every Logia user that was presented in the beginning of the story just ends up being a walking L. Like, it's so sad, bro. I hope that Crocodile comeback is not bad. But anyways, let's get back to Smoker. So Smoker was like introduced as this cool character with a nice devil fruit. Everything was going on for him. He looked amazing, and then, bro, just during the story, like I feel like everybody upgrades and gets stronger, but Smoker just stays on the same level. He plateaued. It's like he gets like literally destroyed in Punk Hazard. He gets disrespected every chance we see him on the screen.
Smoker's coolest attack in Punk Hazard was literally like Rocket Fist with hockey on it. Like it was so dumb.
And in my opinion, and I've always said that if you have to use a sea stone weapon to fight people, like to fight people, you're weak, because why would you need that? You already have a devil fruit. You should have hockey. Why are you doing that? That's for like the Marines who don't have like power. Like I feel like that already tells me a lot about his character. And also again, like he's not even coming back. Like that's the thing. Where is the man? Like Tashigi was on Hashinosu. Where is it on Hashinosu? I think so. Yeah, like where? Like she was with Sword. Like where is Smoker? Is Smoker like just smoking something somewhere? Like is he just like on vacation? like is he with Bulgar? Because what is Bulgar too? Like where are these men?
It's so crazy because some people are coping so hard and they're like, oh, Smoker's on his way to Crossguild to take out Crossguild. If Smoker goes to Crossguild by himself, that's more foolish than Garp attacking Hachinosu with all of Sword. That's stupid. Like, the Smoker would not. I'd hope he's not. I'd hope.
He isn't. Listen. He is non-existent, just like Bogart is non-existent.
To speak on the Sea Stone thing, it's like what's crazy to me is that you think that it's a buff, and to certain opponents it is. But it just as much is a nerf, because he has to keep his hands solid in order. Like
that's not true, because it's only the tip that is in Sea Stone.
Yeah, but he still, in order to wield them, has to keep his hands solid. He can't wield them we've never seen him so it's kind of a built-in weakness just as much as it is a strength, I would argue.
No, but the thing is, like, what he's holding is not Sea Stone. It's just like the tip of the whole thing is Sea Stone, so he doesn't touch it.
No, I get it. I'm not saying that it's like it cancels out his but like it's just that in order for him to still grab a hold of, like, he can't just wrap smoke around it and whip it out.
I see what you mean.
He still has a grip.
I mean, he could just not do that. Like, I mean, why are you doing this? Like, it's just so dumb.
I love that. I am almost as hopeful for Smoker as I am for Dragon and Mihawk, but I could see more than with Dragon and Mihawk the allegations. You know what I mean? But my headcanon is that he is doing something important, hopefully in Elbaf, and I want him to have a conversation with Saul. I was talking on the VC in TOA about this the other day, but like I think that like he doesn't want to be a part of Sword because he's not ready. He's still on the fence about putting in his like resignation, like, you know, like we know that Sword members have, and that he's still trying to like fight for his own type of justice within the Marines. And I think that him talking to Saul the Defector, like he already talked to like Kuzan about it and things like that, but I think that this is like the final nail in the coffin. Is that he
and also don't remember that Dragon was also a part of the military, so the chances that Smoker could be going to go look for the leader of the Revolutionary Army to go like question his own morality in the Navy could also be a plot line to be explored, and explore what Dragon was doing in the military at that time.
Yeah, I just think that Dragon will probably be introduced maybe after Elbaf, like later on, and I'm more hopeful for Saul just because I want Smoker to be introduced sooner rather than later, reintroduced sooner rather than later. But I think that either one of them are definitely a good mouthpiece for how he decides to actually effectively put in his resignation, whether that means becoming a revolutionary or a Straw Hat Grand Fleet or just a member of Sword. I need that full capstone of Smoker's arc, and I think that's when he will truly unlock like full power, like his final form. You know what I mean? Like I'm very hopeful for Smoker.
Just give me a solid W Smoker has taken though, like one dub.
He soloed that ice cream cone.
Yeah, he sure did. If Smoker were to fight anyone in the series to take a dub away from them to like actually come out on top on a fight, like he deserves to take a W in this series. I think Smoker is like a fan favorite enough, especially seeing his showing in Stampede. If there were a character in the One Piece verse he had to fight, who would you want to see Smoker fight and win against?
Nobody's.
I
gonna
mean,
like
he
this.
did body
Go ahead, go
Luffy in the East Blue.
He did beat Luffy, but that was like not the same Luffy that we've ever been dealing with since like I don't know, like it was a W then, but I don't know, like what are y'all Smoker matchups? If like I'll go last because mine's gonna be a hot take.
I'd want to see Smoker fight Sabo, and like I want to see Sabo take an L that he needs to take because it feels like Sabo's been winning his fights here pretty consistently, and to see Sabo lose a fight would be really like interesting to the story.
That is insane. That's actually insane. Kube, you're back with us. Did you have a matchup for Smoker that you thought would be just wild if he took a W?
Honestly, I would want him to go after one of the commanders of the former, like, Big Mom commanders, if they come back to the story,
Bro.
and take them out, you know.
I was literally just saying, like, and I don't know, like, a narrative way, but I was holding back, because, like, yeah, like, what if Smoker versus Katakuri? Like, and there's no way that I could realistically see him, but if he did take a W in that, for whatever reason they would be fighting, I think there'd be no more allegations. Like, that's crazy to me.
I
Yeah,
also thought Smoker Sabo would be an interesting matchup to mirror the callback to like Alabasta, and that would be like a clear, concise way to show Smoker got stronger than like if he has an awakening and Sabo doesn't because he had just recently gotten the fruit. Like that would be cool to me.
It'd be my worst nightmare to see Smoker versus Mihawk, because whoever wins, somebody will just forever remain in like with the fraud allegations. You know what I mean?
Oh, you really want to see Smoker v Mihawk? I don't.
That
Man,
would be
oh,
oh my goodness.
that's insane. Hime, who do you want to see Smoker fight if you were to fight anyone in the One Piece verse?
Wait, repeat?
Who would you like to see Smoker fight in the One Piece verse if he had to fight anyone and come out on top to win?
Oh my god, there's really not a lot of people he can defeat. That are interesting. I'm gonna be for real. This is who can he even defeat, bro? That isn't an interesting character. Damn.
Alvida.
I mean, Alvira is not that interesting to watch fight.
Green Bull.
Listen. You know what? I would love for him to come back with a power up and be able to go against people like Green Bull. Yeah, I would love that, but I don't see that happening because Green Bull is an admiral. So unless like Smoker is just like got like this big buff out of nowhere, I don't see that happening.
No,
but
actually, that's
I would love
crazy.
that to happen.
Because
I would love
As
for
a
that
vice
to happen.
admiral, the same rank as Garp. Just
No,
so
but
Yeah,
I
but
was
Garp didn't want to didn't want to have the admiral position because he didn't want to have responsibilities.
But
He
hear
said
me
it
out.
himself.
Hear me out. What if Smoker was also in the running, and he has a Logia like the OG like admirals like like convent like a
That would
like
be- that
power
would be the
setting
big-
thing. What
the
if
biggest
he
twist.
turned it down as well, just like Garp, and that's why Green Bull got the spot?
Okay, but that's the thing. That's the thing. If we just look at his past feats, no. But if he actually just like leveled up during the whole time that we didn't see him, I can see that.
I think that'd be crazy. That would be really cool. And
Yeah.
like now I really do want to see Smoker versus
Listen.
Green Bull. That's crazy.
Listen. Smoker has such a cool devil fruit. It would be a shame that Oda doesn't do anything with it.
I have a good one, I think. What if
What's that?
Smoker's been left behind to protect the kids from Punk Hazard? What if he fights Caesar and wins to protect them from season
That
10
is
back.
3-day. This is why you're the W of this like last arc. I would have never thought like Smoker v Caesar, and like it's definitely in the cards for him to manipulate like the gaseous forms that Caesar would manipulate. Like that's so cool. You're the W. I love that. And like it gives like an explanation on like why he wasn't with Tashigi and everyone. I love that so much. Like that's a W. W 3-day.
Yay!
No, that is a wild fight. I would love to see that, because that's another person who I would love to see Caesar come back and actually know how to use his fruit properly, to like more than just like the scientific side, but like in combat, because the gas fruit is actually really broken when you like go into it and dissect it like from like a scientific like that is one of the most broad like power suites that like a devil fruit could ever possibly have. You know how many gases there are, and like the crazy things that can happen like if you really like take advantage of being able to produce them in like nigh infinite qualities and quantities and things like that. That's crazy.
So for me, and ever since we've seen the showcase of Sword, because there's something that was bothering me post Timeskip, it looks like Marines got weaker and weaker, right, while the Pirates got stronger. And I do feel like Zoro, that Smoker reached a plateau, because there was something about the reasons he's fighting for, you know what I mean? And also that flashback of Aokiji going to guard because he's reached his plateau. I'm wanting for Marines like Aokiji and the Smoker, if they can find like, they can't fake it, you know what I mean? Or else they'll be like those vice admirals like Momonga, internally weak, internally limited to their power abilities. You know, they'll never reach a higher stuff. So, I do feel like next time we'll see Zoro. Why do I keep saying Zoro? Next time I think we'll see Smoker. There'll be some changes to him. I mean, they have to. That was just, you know.
I keep thinking about like the like Smoker's devil fruit is really interesting, and like when you go like, because I make devil fruits for One Piece D&D and stuff like that, so I go on like a subatomic level and try to see like what the coolest awakening would be. And I wrote the Moku Moku no Mi, like the smoke fruit, as a Logia, and it's crazy because when I was researching it and you really understand what all goes into smoke, smoke is essentially just evaporated water with like particulates and like other like things in it, like carbon levels and like things like that. So like that's what changes it from white smoke to black smoke, but it's basically steam with some flavor, with some spice in there. But and like a lot of people are saying like there might be like a water based devil fruit, and maybe Emu has that, or somebody endgame level has that, or something like that. We've seen it. It's like he kind of has like a very water-based devil fruit already, and it kind of like does mirror Crocodile's kind of power to like dehydrate things and stuff like that. Smoker has, if he were to like really awaken and understand the true power of his devil fruit, it's actually really crazy what could be done, because he might not even need the sea stone stuff. He might just be able to like use his clouds to effectively fully submerge a devil fruit user, even if they're above sea level, out of water, because it's just steam with other stuff in there. Like it's still water, which is crazy.
Caesar didn't have hockey, did he?
No, I don't think so.
And
I don't think he had any ambition or will or anything like
Well, now that Smoker knows how his devil fruit works, couldn't he just like? I know he got knocked out last time because he took the oxygen out of the air, but it's in a certain range. He could escape like Luffy did with his smoke, at least getting his head out of the range of his devil fruit.
And Smoker knows hockey as well. Like, yeah. We saw Smoker utilize hockey when Tashigi was in his body trying to use his power. She hockeyed up his fist to try to hurt him. And I mean, it's obvious that like Smoker has ambition and will. I'm just wondering where that ambition and will is going to go and what that's going to do for the story.
Yeah, we were talking like 3-day when you brought up like him with the kids from Punk Hazard, and I like that. And if it were maybe potentially like tragically something that's irreversible, the gigantification, Maybe that's like how he gets to Elbaf, which I really like in my head canon. You know, like is like he's like, okay, well, I need a home for these kids. Let's where the government won't persecute them or something like that. And he takes the kids to Elbaf, where they can grow up and have like a semi-normal life and be around other giants.
Well, it seems like they'd have to go to wherever Vegapunk is for him to keep treating them. I don't know if the treatment's finished or whatever, but
Yeah, I thought we would for sure get more this arc, and we still have a lot more from Egghead potentially. So I don't know if we don't get it here. I hope it's Elbaf. Like I really do. I need to see a conversation between Saul and Smoker. I would love that.
What if
so
that's
much.
why Tashigi was with Sword? And that's why Smoker couldn't go with, but he sent Tashigi out in his place. And Tashigi's not an official member of Sword, but Smoker is. And that's like why we didn't see Smoker there, is because he's busy protecting the kids from like potential CP number agents from assassinating them or trying to steal them back for government experiments.
I mean, we know that the last time with the kid stuff, he wanted to speak to Vegapunk. We're seeing Vegapunk, so most likely we're pretty soon going to get a reveal. And I think once we get a reveal of that interaction, we'll know what Smoker's about. Because I think before that, Oda doesn't want to show a Smoker.
Yeah, did you guys want to maybe get into, since we're already kind of speculating and whatnot, like maybe speculating about next chapter or what we get in Egghead, or even what Elbaf could bring, like a little bit more focused on that. I'm loving the Smoker talk, but yeah, if there's anything else that you guys had as far as like the future, like of the manga type of prediction.
he may.
Like predictions?
Yeah, like if you had any like 1102 predictions, or just like Egghead specifically,
listen,
like what we're gonna get into next, or even Elbaf predictions.
Listen, I love the flashback, but I am ready to get back on Egghead, okay? It has been a while. Please bring me back. Get me out of there. I am done crying. I know we're gonna cry again, but I want to cry in the present, not in the past. So I want to get back to Egghead, and my prediction is Kuma shows up. He has a lot of pain he put inside of himself. He accumulated. He's going to use it to blitz off Saturn and kill him, and he's going to sacrifice himself by doing that and saving Bonnie. Bonnie's going to join the Straw Hats, and then everybody's gonna go to Elbaf. But in between, there's gonna be Blackbeard, who's gonna come and do some pirate shit, obviously. Yeah, that will be the end of the arc. I think that's what it's gonna happen, and no dragon is not coming. That's it.
I definitely think Blackbeard is gonna steal Saturn's fruit. I'm just
so something like that. Yeah, I can see
That'd
that.
be crazy. Yeah, I don't think Dragon will be here for Egghead, or even Elbaf. I think it's gonna still be like a slow cook. But that's really interesting. I've heard a few different Kuma theories, like because they did mention, like Vegapunk said, like what's gonna happen if I lose like my humanity, and it's just like, well, you won't, if somebody orders you to attack a child, you won't have anything in you to like that's stopping you doing that. Do you think there's a possibility that with Saturn being there, if Kuma does show up, there's like a moment where he gets ordered to attack his own daughter? Like, you think it'll get that dark?
Oh man.
I think it's gonna get that dark, and he's gonna throw out the order, and I think Oda's gonna subvert us with Kuma actually being able to resist it. Like, you can't extinguish the flames of liberation. You just can't. Like, I refuse to believe it. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna do it.
Yeah,
I really want to see that moment. I'm sorry. When the next part should be where it shows him losing his will with Vegapunk doing this surgery. I want to see where they conspire to put in a safety feature at a certain time where he can regain it.
Yes. I was just saying earlier, like, I need Kuma's side of Saba Odi. Like, him seeing Luffy training for, like, his finisher move, like the axe in the woods, and he's saying, like, this is what I'm going to use whenever somebody tries to take one of my friends away from me. And then Kuma being the person who Luffy thought was taking his friends away, and seeing like that heartbreaking moment in Sabaody with the bubbles popping and him like sending everybody like, and Luffy had no idea what was going on. He's crying, he's punching the ground, and then he's like saying like, this is the last time you'll ever see me. I need to see Kuma's side of that and understand better why he guarded the Sunny for 2 years. Like,
that's what I was just about to say. Like, that's what I need. I
need
need to see him talking to Rayleigh. I raise you that, and I raise you the conversation he had with Rayleigh. I need to know what he said exactly to him.
Yeah, I'm positive Rayleigh told him, hey, do me a solid, send him to Amazon Lily, because we know that Rayleigh has heavy ties to Amazon Lily and is welcome there, and it's safe from the world government, and that's one of the only places that we didn't see Kuma actually visiting when he went on his like world tour trying to find the cure for the Sapphire Scales. Like we never saw like him go to Amazon Lily, so Rayleigh could have been like, hey, send him that way into the Calm Belt. Should be, I feel
like it would be more Dragon or Vegapunk, because I find it very interesting that Frankie is sent to Vegapunk's original laboratory, and Robin is sent a place where the Revolution Army was about to hit. Like, the coincidence is crazy, and he did just mention, so I would say maybe really did not have a hand in it. Like, it was always the plan. One time he would send the Straw Hats, and, you know. Oh, what's up, then?
Yeah, we are joined by the captain of the last arc himself, fresh out of the One Piece live action banquet over on Desness the Dwarfs channel. What's good, Den Kushi? How you doing?
Hello there. Desness is sorry that he didn't send the viewers over. He wanted to. To answer what you're talking about, maybe it's in the Bible. Hime, absolutely great to see you and talk to you. I hope you're doing.
Thank you.
I hope you're happy.
Same here. Thank you.
Good, thank you. You guys
we're talking
carry on
about speculations for 1102 and what we're gonna get from Egghead or the flashback next, or even Elbaf prediction. If you had anything you wanted to spit, Den?
Well, Frankie getting the paw, Frankie sort of assimilating with the Sunny to make some pseudo Pluton, and then escaping maybe underwater from Egghead, and Kuma gonna die. That's about all I got, really.
My goodness.
I'm tired.
No, yeah, that is crazy.
It's still, dude. Let's talk. If you want my actual opinions, right? We've all read 1101 or whatever it is. That color spread gave us York on one side and Shaka on the other, right? And come on, like I've been saying for a long time, Shaka is a sus dude. So I really hope we get a bit more on the York stuff, and it isn't just some simple traitor stuff like we saw. I hope there's more to it.
Actually, I really hope we do get more from it, because that was like Egghead, in my opinion, was flawless. Like on a reread through and everything except for one chapter, which was the traitor reveal. I loved the whole build up and all of that, and then I felt like that moment just felt so flat. And I wouldn't even think that it's damage control, because I feel like it's intentional. Like I need him to show us what he's really been cooking, because I don't feel like that's the real deal. Like what we got, you know.
Like we have this like almost a Chekhov's gun with the whole like Shaka was the one that was talking to Dragon. You know, it wasn't Vegapunk. We don't know what voice Shaka was using, and he said to Dragon, I think I'm going to die. So there's stuff going on there, and like you say, it'd be nice to see it resolved and tied up. But it's One Piece, so you probably have to wait 8 years.
He's been paying off a lot more recently on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody think that we'll be getting the man marked by flames anytime soon, or is that like a later arc reveal?
Well, for me, it should be Elbaf.
I think, yeah, I would definitely, like, I think Vegapunk might know something about it, but I don't know if we get it here. But Elbaf for sure, like at the latest, right?
Yeah. Especially since Elbaf seems to be like giants who've lived for 200, 300 years old, easy. You know, most likely we'll get some more stuff with Poneglyph. You know, when there's a hint of the Adon tree, so I wouldn't be shocked that the man barked by flames, which, you know, we know that it will connect somehow to the Poneglyph, because he said right after Poneglyphs. And the first time we got the more important Poneglyphs is in Ohara, where literally Saul talks about the giants and all from Elbaf. And we know the books of Ohara are in Elbaf right now, so it seems to be like, you know, all roads leads to Elbaf.
Hime, do you think it'll be like Law or Kid that will come back, or both?
Do you
reckon
think
they'll come
what?
back?
Repeat?
Like Law or Kid will come back, or both of them maybe.
Law, yes, because like I mean he's alive, like as we can see, like he got saved. But Kid, I have no idea. Like, knowing Oda, he doesn't kill people, but he will never be back as this important character. He will be back as like a support character, unfortunately, if he ever comes back.
Sideline.
I need to see Law coming back. That
me
chapter
too.
broke my heart. Like, oh my goodness. Like, no pun intended, you know, but like I loved seeing like like, oh man, like that chapter absolutely devastated me when I read it. Like that might have been like what hit me the hardest. Is that the the Heart Pirates, you know, got completely wiped, and we don't know what happened to any of them other than just Beppo and Law. And there's just still so much more that Law can contribute to the end of the story. Like I feel like.
Yeah,
I
tough
think you're right
time,
with Kid.
sure.
I do the meme answer a lot that Kid meets Davy Jones at the bottom of the ocean, which I put in a chat. But
Wow.
I don't know, man. Somebody said it earlier. I think it was the Will of Dreams or Duran or Jose, the goats that we've had here. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being with us this whole time. But somebody said it earlier. Does Kid get like the hockey bloom of a lifetime and come back like completely ascended? You know, like after taking the fattest L.
Listen, Kaku ate a fruit and was able to awaken it after 2 years. Anything is possible in One Piece.
Oh man.
I mean, if Kaku can awaken in 2 years.
What about 3-Day? Do you have any thoughts on like Law or Kid?
I definitely want to see Law again, but I wanted to ask Hime. I seen a tweet, something about kid slander. Can you tell me what that's about?
Oh well, listen, for the people who've been following me on TikTok for a while, when Kid was like, even before like there was a Shanks versus Kid, I've been slandering this man for a while. I just don't like him. I really don't like him, but I just don't like his personality. I don't like how he thinks he's the shit, you know, and he's not, and he's using way too much his devil fruit. Everything is set up for him to be great. He's in a system that was designed for him to thrive, and he has an amazing devil fruit, conquers hockey that he has used once maybe by accident, and he's not training his hockey. He did mistakes twice. He makes a mistake and he's like, let me redo the mistake because you know what? I don't think I learned my lesson. And he redo the same mistakes, and guess what? He's like 6 feet underwater. Like it it makes me so upset.
6 feet underwater.
It just makes me.
I like it. That's brilliant.
Listen, it makes me so upset. And when he got defeated by Shanks, I made like 5 skits about him. Like I was cooking him, bro. I was like, this is what happened when you're listen. When you just don't learn from your mistakes and you think you're him just because you were able to like defeat a Yonko with the help of somebody who was telling you exactly what to do. Because let's be honest here, Kid doesn't have a battle IQ. Kid goes with emotions. He's like, oh, I'm mad. Okay, I'm just going to like fight madly. Like no, he doesn't think stuff through. Like Law had to tell him what to do, when to do, and everything. This man is not a captain.
He didn't. Now he's learned his lesson. Man. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing.
I agree.
Is he alive? Like, what did that cost? 2 arms? He's gonna come with no limbs? Like.
It's a flesh wound. Real quick, I love the discussion. Yeah. I'm gonna pop off for like 2 seconds, and then I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna mute up, but I'll be right back.
No worries.
Shout out to Peso Pete, because the day the chapter Divine Departure dropped, he put out a whole song about Shanks like putting out a diss track towards Kid. It's like it's called Hockey Man. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I literally have that in my top 10 most played songs in 2023. Kid ain't coming back from that. Only one red-haired pirate in this gang, and that's what, you know, we stand 10 toes on that.
All I'm gonna say, because I'm not a defender for Kid, but all I'm gonna say is Luffy's crew had a similar order box at the end of Sabaody. On this day, the Sword Pirates were defeated. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But then again, I call him Mid, so Captain Mid. So
Useless Captain Mid.
useless Captain Mid, exactly, man. Useless.
Sailing on the Shitoria.
And shout out to Hop Hunter for his funeral for Kid.
And I'm gonna say this, not because Vex is not here, and I hope Vex can hear this. I'll say this: I'm happy that both Kid and Law took L's because I think both of them relied too much on their Devil Fruits and not enough in other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Law did use a bit of haki to switch his gender.
Exactly.
The absolute slander. Okay, first of all, I won't let you talk about Law like that. If anything, yeah, he took an L. He took a lowercase L, you know, but Kid took like the bold-faced uppercase 100-point font L, okay? And
a double L.
Yeah, and the
Law
thing is
murdered Stronger. Like, he cut Stronger in half. That horse, if that horse comes back, goated horse. Like, what the heck? But, like,
No,
at
for
least
real.
Law got to fight. Shanks said, nah, dog, one tap, you done.
And the too much on the Devil Fruit? No, sir, bro. Showing us hockey negation of other people's Devil Fruit abilities, sacrificing part of his own lifespan in true Luffy fashion by using hockey to accentuate his own other abilities and things like this man had observation hockey feats pre-raid and things like we're talking about this guy's glow up was so real with hockey, it's insane. But yeah, his Devil Fruit is also cracked. But does he rely on it too much? Absolutely not. I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about Law. I will not let you slander my boy.
Man, calm down. Huh? I was just saying that both Kid and Law rely too much more on the Devil Fruits than hockey. That was all I was saying.
I don't know if
but
I
no,
agree.
I love the passion.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could hear you.
But then
I could hear you, bro. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Because then again, if it's between Kid and Law, obviously I'll give 100% more to Law than Kid. Because Kid is not even he's using too much of his Devil Fruit. He's using the most lazy part of his Devil Fruit. I am sorry. With a Devil Fruit like that, you could do more than just what he's doing. Grabbing metal pieces for a metal arm. Whoa, that's interesting. Whoa.
I need to see him messing with people's log poses and eternal poses.
Exactly.
And the full magnetic fields of islands. And I think the Will of Dreams put it in chat earlier. If he uses NL as a battery and pull shifts the entire One Piece world, to that's a whole the pole shift theory and stuff like that. That would be some really cracked stuff. I will say it's cool. It's really cool that he made a full railgun. That's insane. That's crazy.
I'm gonna say this. If I was Kid and I had that fruit, you know what would be the first thing, guys, I would do? Have a metal ship. Why sail when you can just leap from the sea? You know what I mean? Even that level, go Magneto or go Static Shock.
Bro.
There's so much stuff he can do. There's so much stuff. He just creates a metal arm that he runs behind him. Cool. That's why I say he uses the lazy part of his fruit.
I think because we've seen a lot of Frankie theories, if he replaces and then Parvision also had can boats have devil fruits would they still float, and those theories and stuff like that. If Kid replaces a whole bunch of his body parts with metal, would he still be affected by the curse that immobilizes devil fruit users if he had a metal body?
Interesting.
I would say no, right? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? If Kid becomes almost fully metal, and he his body would still be able to move, right? Because it's mechanical. It's not the curse of the sea wouldn't apply to it at that point.
Wouldn't that work with Kuma too?
I would think so, but we don't know exactly how much of him is metal. But yeah, Kuma, he should probably be able to swim. I think, at least.
So if Frankie ate a devil fruit, like let's say if Frankie ate some devil fruit, like I don't know, the pawpaw fruit. If Frankie were to be in the water, could Frankie still use pawpaw powers?
Well, so the fruit can still be used underwater. It's just that it immobilizes the user. But we've seen
Yeah.
like the ocean doesn't negate devil fruit powers. It just immobilizes devil fruit users.
The thing is, it's all about the density because Oda said that it's about the density of water around you. So if it doesn't affect like whatever is supposed to be affected by density of water with the metal parts, then yes, because there's some valid points. If you remember Mr. Sri, even though he was also in the water like Luffy and Chopper, part of his body was in his wax devil fruit in his legs. And he was able to make different shape of ki. So not only was he, did not collapse, he did not feel like the draining of using his fruit. And no one talks about that. Like most of his leg was in water, but also part of it, like someone looked, there's a lot of wax around his foot, from his devil fruit. So it could be the density was not enough for him to like immobilize him.
Yeah,
So
I think that's crazy.
Frankie
But we've
could
seen
come
like
up.
multiple fruit users be able to do stuff underwater, like in small instances. And I think Oda did clarify it in an SBS. I just don't remember it right off the top of my head. But yeah, it's just that it makes them immobile. Like it's not that the fruit isn't, able to be activated, I believe. And I think he did clarify that it doesn't have to be seawater. It's like any water.
Yeah, density of water. Any density of water.
Interesting
exactly.
Thing. But I don't know. I think that if Frankie were to eat a devil fruit, or Kuma currently, with him being like mostly cybernetic and things like that, or a Kid as well, like absolutely. I think that, but I think the argument for Kid is more so is that Kid doesn't need like as many organic components because his devil fruit would work to hold himself together, and he could circulate his own blood just with his devil fruit, with like the metal in his blood and things like that. He wouldn't need an active pumping heart the same way that like that Kuma might. And I think the same argument could be made for Frankie because of his cybernetics and his advanced Vegapunk like ish tech and stuff like that. So I don't know if Kuma can for real, but there's an argument for it. But I think there's a much stronger argument for both Frankie or Kid, as far as like being able to replace more of their organic, components. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. There's also the whole scene with Saturn using his, Medusa stare that makes someone's brain pop off. Frankie's only half of his head was no, Frankie wasn't really affected, and then you have again the Snake using her Medusa stare, and only the part of his face that wasn't metal turned into stone. The rest stays the same. Only half his face was turned. So there's some point to it.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. But we're coming up on the 3-hour mark. So if there's anything else topic wise that y'all wanted to get into really quickly, or we could start going to outros.
So I like also to remind everyone that if I'm not, tell me Hime if I'm not mistaken, but in a couple hours you're reacting to the One Piece episode with Chestnut, right?
Yeah, the Blackbeard one. It's gonna be at like 10-15 p.m. on Chestnut's channel. Yeah.
Okay. We'll try to leave the links and everything in the chat, but yeah.
Also,
I wanted to do a call out to that already.
But I'm super hype. I cannot wait for the pre-Egghead like hype, and then all of the actual Egghead. I couldn't imagine being an anime only right now. Like, bro, that is so crazy. But yeah, I just put Chestnut's YouTube in the chat. So guys, make sure you're subscribed to her if you're not already. Absolutely crazy. Make sure you're subscribed to Hime as well. And I'm gonna also put the Chibi Girls server link in. Make sure you hop in. It's just a really great place. Just a lot of activity, positivity, wonderful people all joining in. It's still like a pretty fresh server, but let's get them a ton of members.
Thank you.
Yeah, and No, it's gonna be, yeah. If you're an anime only watcher, I remember when we were surprised when we read these chapters and we did what? Like that was the last place we would expect Blackbeard to be going.
Yeah, crazy. I can't wait. And I'm always a fan of some Kobe, glow up. Like I really do love Kobe. I meme about the Helmeppo stuff, and I do love Helmeppo. It's mostly for the memes. I love me some Kobe. I love Cody too, though.
Of course, SSJ8 Kobe of the Marines, the most famous Marine
God,
hero.
Cubert, you better stop.
But yeah, Cube, you got any other closing statements? Anything else you want to plug?
I want to plug. Well, I always want to plug 3-Day Trip. She's now rocking
the
the
best
Twitter
of
for
us.
TLA. Yeah, on Twitter, she's absolutely a party queen on Twitter as well. So not X. I'm sorry, air quote X. For
I'm not
those who are
calling it
confused.
that.
Yeah, me neither. But
This is why you're the GOAT, 3-Day. You're the best of us. Literally the best.
Honestly.
And don't also. And if you think that you feel like Cody's voice is very, it makes you think of something, it's because every Friday he's on Chan Rolls with Lucas and Fritz. So don't forget to check that out. And obviously, Vex, you're going to tell me, but what is it? Group 2 solos, right?
Yeah, I heard that somewhere. Group 2 does so.
But in
Yeah,
2
yeah.
hours, Cody 8 will eat.
That's true. We have. I just wanted to say, yeah, like the 3-Day, much love, mad love. You are the
3-Day the best.
navigator that we need. We would be directionless and lost, like without you. The most goated. Mad love for 3-Day. Shout out to Cube for holding it down with me today, co-hosting and whatnot. And yeah, Cody 8 will eat. Tell the folks what that means, Cody, real quick.
Yeah, you have to give context, dude. You have to give context.
Cody 8 will eat. It's a little hashtag we started because Group 2 solos, Group 3 clears. It's like, man, what is Cody 8 gonna do? ATE? Well, we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat all these D&D campaigns up. They're gonna survive, I hope, through the grand line of the wonderful game of One Piece D&D every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SSJ8Cody, where I have 4 amazing players named vexyz, Tree the Wolf, Straw Hat Lucas, and Dastard Dan, just going ham as like the most out-of-pocket people I've ever played D&D with. So be sure to come catch that. Be sure to come catch vexyz hitting the hole. It's a really good time,
bro. Out of pocket. No, yeah, it is. It's wild. I haven't been a player in a D&D campaign in a very long time. Like I said, like the last arc said in the chat. Link in the description for Cody, for Lucas, for all of Hibe's like socials and my own as well. I run my own One Piece D&D campaign also. Every Tuesday, Group 2 does in fact solo. So look forward for that. Subscribe to all of the homies and make sure that you guys have absolutely subscribed to Hime. Follow her on TikTok. Join the Chibi Girls server. Hit up Chestnut's channel tonight for some absolute fire. I love catching y'all's reactions whenever I can. Hime, is there anything else that you wanted to shout out to or say right before we go?
Honestly, you guys kept shouting out everything regarding me and Chestnut, so I'm very, very grateful. I'm always happy to be invited here, and listen, it was really amazing. It was really cool. I love you guys. Yeah, don't have anything to shout out. Everything was already done.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, it's our honor. But it was great, talking about some Fraud Watch allegations and stuff like that. And we definitely got to get you and Chestnut both here on a stream, so y'all can both vibe with us. We've had her on once before, and we've had you on twice. I'm looking forward to that. That's what I want to shout out most of all.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's you were spitting as always, but you were spitting.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for us, folks. We have been the last arc, and we've had a wonderful guest, Ohime Tenchi, with us, and if you want to catch us for like our next major things, like Cody said, he's got a session tonight on his Twitch. I've got something going on Tuesday, but Wednesday we will also be having a News Coup interview where yours truly, as well as Straw Hat Lucas, will be interviewing Joy Boy Theories, which I'm looking forward to so much. We've got a lot of other really great streams on the horizon planned for you guys, and some videos that'll be coming out as well, some theory spice. To stay in the loop on all of that, please make sure you check out, link in the description, for the last arc, or the TLA Discord. It's just a wonderful place. You can vibe with all of us. Hit us up in the theory section, and we do stream sometimes with some of the folks from the Discord. So yeah, you never know. Hop in, be a part of the discussion, and maybe we'll have you guys as a guest one of these days. But make sure you like the stream, make sure you subscribe, check out all the goats in the description, and have a wonderful rest of the day, y'all. It's been so amazing. We love you, chat, and yeah, y'all take it easy.
Hi, everyone.
Bye bye.
I love you. I love you so much.
Bruh.
Yeah.